Welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and that is David, aka Dream Twister, and this is the real episode 317 of GG's the Mouthful Podcast.
Yay!
Nice. Yes, I know that took a lot out of you.
That's it. That's all I could give.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. From the rest of the episode on, this is we're going to be speaking from this decibel.
We're just yes. It's just gonna be this tone. It's gonna be this. No, it can't be, bro. I mean, it's the weekend. I tell you what it is.
It is.
We had a really good weekend last weekend, and now this one doesn't feel like it measures up.
Yeah, it doesn't quite live up to it. Yeah.
No.
Last weekend was a good weekend, bro. That is. I mean, yeah. I feel like I got the most out of that 3-day weekend. And it was, we grilled out on Monday. I just went out and just grilled a bunch of meats. You know what I mean?
Well, you still have a cow, so
yeah. Poor cow. We got to get through that damn thing.
Cow.
Yeah, it's a lot, dude. It's a lot of freaking meat. Then I went back and got more. Ended up getting some lamb cutlets, some duck cutlets.
Oh, wow.
And so anyway, I gotta go through. But yeah, that weekend. And then what was awesome about it was just the weather, bro. It wasn't hot. It was no cloud in the sky. It was just like, oh, this is perfect. Especially when it went down. Like I was sitting outside, like this is beautiful, dude. I was like, oh man. Now we have this weekend, and I've got some things going on, so I got to prepare for that. Plus, apparently, we have a tropical storm coming. You know what I mean?
Oh, hooray!
Yeah,
It's that time of the year.
Exactly. And then unfortunately, I do have to cut into my weekend to work a little bit. So it's just I know it's just not the
pretty much suicide this weekend. You mega killed it. Holy shit.
So that's why I'm just like, and then of course, let's be real, even though it was only a 4-day work week, it for whatever reason always ends up feeling like an even longer week.
It got the last. Well, actually, you usually leave later than me by quite a bit because of your schedule. And you saw me. And I was texting you. And I was like, dude, I'm still at work, but I'm leaving now because otherwise I was not gonna have any energy to do the cast. I was gonna say like we're gonna have to rain check for tomorrow because I need to recharge my batteries.
I am same way, sir. I need to. I definitely need to recharge. I feel like I can't sleep in tomorrow because again we got some plans, but I think I will a Sunday just to recharge.
Well, shit! Welcome, guys, to the Doomcast.
I know, right? Tuning in to two freaking old guys here complaining about. You know what I mean?
Oh, my pension hurts. Oh,
oh my god, that's hilarious. No. First off, thank you everyone for tuning in. This is of course the Mouthful Podcast. We put a podcast every week. I don't think we've missed a signal yet. Maybe we did,
or so we'd like to keep ourselves believing.
Yeah, maybe
it must be someplace or sometime here or other.
Yeah. There's been some late entries, but I feel like we've nailed it every week.
Yeah. We still have the missing 300. We don't know what happened to that episode.
Yeah, we're still exactly.
We're still. Yeah, we have put posters around the city. If anybody knows what happened to episode 300, if anybody has seen it, please, don't hesitate to contact the authorities. And by authorities, we mean us. Just DM us and let us know because
we'll
there's a lot of good stuff in there that it can be lost.
It will not be lost to the annals of time.
Yes.
We will retrieve it. We've got IT working around the clock to Like,
okay, it's how we come out clean. All right, so it got ransomware, guys. That's what happened, and we refused to pay the ransom because I don't have 3 Bitcoins.
I know, and of all the things to ask for, you know what I mean? It's like, why would you ask for that? It's devaluing. It's not even worth anything anymore.
Exactly. But, so I'm waiting for it to go down.
To go down, then, yeah. That's what
we'll haggle. That's how you haggle.
Exactly. So
give me my episode 300, and I'll give you 350.
Oh my God, excuse me. Guys, if this is your first time listening, first off, thank you so much for tuning in. Please go first to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there. That, of course, takes you to our Facebook group. And, of course, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. I'm just realizing now that we have not updated our URL on our Instagram page. I feel like we should do that at some point. It still says goodgame.tech. But we'll fix that at some point.
That's fine, because it was for the longest time our intro still like goodgame.tech, and then I start like when I realized I start editing like dot rocks, and then I decided to like re-record it, and now I spell it out.
ROCKS.
ROCKS.
Well done, sir. Well done. What we normally do, guys, first we go into what we have been up to, move on into various news items, and then, of course, we finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic, the return to form for Stranger Things. Ladies and gentlemen, Stranger Things Season 4, Part 1. Is out because yes, there's a part 2 still on its way in July, but we didn't want to wait at this point because of our excitement for
maybe that's the one where it fall apart.
yeah, exactly. Last
it returned to form. It returned to
exactly, and then we'll have another podcast, the return to form.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that actually, and I feel like we can go a little bit into. I think you had mentioned this as well. What is it that series need to do to sort of right the ship, because I think sometimes they go down the wrong path and just go, well, we're here. Let's just let's go all in this particular thing that's not working. Right. And it's like, no. There's a way of righting the ship, and I think you guys would agree that so far, again, part 1 of season 4 has really left it at a good point and really brought back the show to something very special so far. But we'll get into that later on in the show. Sir, let's go ahead and start with what we have been up to. Santos, what have you been doing?
Diddly fuck.
Back to you.
Unless you want to hear me talk about Halo Infinite for, try to stretch it out into 10 minutes is at most is what I can do of it, because I really don't have anything.
You just jump back into, you could just mention it, I guess. You just jump back into Halo Infinite. So you're still, is it because of the show still, or is the game just holding you?
To be quite honest with you, I think I just wanted to have that experience of playing Halo at the harder difficulty. See will carry me, but I'm realizing that it's not really like when I play it, I'm having fun, but I don't get the impulse to actually like go in and play it. So I think I'm satisfied. I think like at this point it's I'm done. I beat the game on normal. I'm halfway to the campaign on this next difficulty setting, whatever it is. I'm headbutting against a boss, which is kind of it's kind of cheesy because the area itself, like I didn't have this problem. Or maybe I had this problem a little bit when I was playing on normal, but it wasn't as bad because it's normal. You're meant to beat it, but so it's an enclosed area, and you have very little maneuverability, and very few selection of weapons in the area. Like whatever you brought with you, that's what you're using.
Okay.
Basically. And it's kind of an annoying boss fight. The Halo games, they don't particularly excel as having like really cool boss moments. It's not about that. For the most part, yeah, it's like this baddie is kind of a little bit stronger and have some kind of common moves. Like there's very little surprises on the boss fights. Unfortunately, and I would say, it's the nature of being a shooter, but no, I have actually played other shooter games where it has pretty interesting boss fights. Pretty intricate mechanics that you have to do, and unfortunately, it just come to realize that Halo Infinite does not have that. That's not heavy criticism. That's not to say that it is not. I mean, it is still a great game, but the boss fights are not. None of the boss encounters, quote unquote, if we can call it that, it's anything particularly like special or anything grand. The most that you will have sometimes when you're capturing actually, when you capture bases, all you're doing is just mowing fools. But there are some named enemies that you have to attack, and it'll be like a souped up version of a grunt. And the little tiny grunts, they're freak out and talk like this and just go around like Master Chief or whatever. I don't.
Oh God. Okay.
And yeah, it's a souped up version of that is not going to be, you pretty much can handle it very easily, So, yeah. And then of course you have a souped up version of brutes, a souped up version of elites, and you have. It's funny because I'm playing. So the Halo games have this things called skulls there are very hidden items that you collect, very hidden skulls actually that you collect, and they allow you to activate some like crazy things in the game. Like I remember from the old Halo games, like you could have Halos where every time you do a headshot, their heads will blow up like a piñata, and candy will come out, and you hear kids going yay. But if it's something stupid, it's completely out of the ordinary, completely out of left field. This is like you've done with the game, you played it, now let's just get some skulls to give you some wacky powers or some cool powers sometimes. But they're very hard to find. I only found one when I played the campaign the first time, and I realized that it is ones where I think it's called, did he really say that? And what they're meant to do is every now and then some of the enemies and actually the NPCs in general have some sort of banter between them. And very rarely here and there you might hear something that is kind of like, oh, I can't believe he was talking about that. It's kind of insane. So it makes those occurrences happen more often. And it's cool because suddenly like I think the last time that I was playing, they were it was two soldiers mocking the fact that they met this goofy looking brute, and they were like, yeah, this guy looks silly. I don't know, I think his name was Craig, and they were making the fun of the fact that, hey, that you remember that Halo Infinite reveal when they showed the brute that didn't look like, the graphics didn't look very stellar, and it looked kind of silly, like
Mm-hmm.
Very like a simian look.
What do they call it? What was the name they gave?
Call it Craig. So
Craig,
that's why.
Craig, right.
So
Craig.
they're making fun of Craig in the game itself, and I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
I appreciate some a little bit of inside humor and whatnot. And the enemies will also say some like crazy lines that you'll be like that you actually go like, what the fuck? Did you really say that? But I won't spoil it, because mostly I can't remember what I said. It's cool to. I should be playing to locate those skulls, and just fuck it, just look it up online and see where they are at, so I can activate it, because they do they do some fun things. But that's it. That's my 10 minutes, my allotted 10 minutes of Halo Infinite. I'm not gonna talk about Halo Infinite anymore because I put it down. I actually didn't do a lot of playing this week, to be honest with you. The most I put was that, and then I probably because of Top Gun, I started playing Ace Combat 7 again. This time on PC, because I grabbed the game for like $5, and I was like, oh man, that's crazy. They're selling this game, which usually doesn't go down, and it's only for $5. I'm gonna grab it, and of course now I see why. Is because the game has Top Gun DLC, because of course it does. And then the Top Gun DLC is like completely regular as regular as DLC prices go. What was it? It was like $30 or something, dude. It was like, no way. If it was okay, here we go. It is Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown, Top Gun Maverick aircraft set. And shit, I'm trying to look what the price of the DLC is at. Can't find it. Anyway, it's not worth it, because all it does is just it gives you a bunch of new jet, like the F-14 Tomcat, and jets that are obviously based from the movie. But they're meant to be used for multiplayer. Like if it was a single player aspect of it, it would have been cool. But it's just this jets you can use on multiplayer. I don't play multiplayer, and the music, like it has music that is meant to do homage to the Top Gun music when you're flying.
Oh really?
Not really.
Danger Zone?
Yeah. The danger zone, but not quite danger zone. It just sounds a little bit like it. So it's not like, who is it? Kenny Rogers? Was it
Danger Zone? No,
not Kenny Rogers. It's something Rogers. I don't remember them. Who sings Danger Zone?
Kenny Loggins.
Kenny Loggins. There you go. It's Loggins, not Rogers. Loggins. Kenny Loggins. Kenny Rogers.
I know. I was just like, Kenny Rogers.
I'm thinking of the restaurant, of the chicken, the franchise.
Oh,
Kenny Rogers Chicken. I know he's a country singer. I think he is, or something like that. Who cares? Anyway. So yeah, a little bit of I was gonna call it Top Gun, of Ace Combat 7, and Ace Combat 7's convoluted, like pseudo real world, where it tries to present it presents you this universe you're supposed to believe. It is very realistic. It looks like Earth, but it's not Earth. And these countries, they're like, oh, so it feels like a legitimate, as legitimate as you can get in video games. But I appreciate the fact that they do their own thing when it comes to the world, but it's very based on the real world. It's not going towards the fantastic or crazy, even though yes, they might have some technologies that haven't been invented, like an air aircraft carrier, for example, will be one of them. Obviously, like an air fortress. Obviously, that doesn't exist that we know of. And like, but supersonic drones do exist, and so it plays with that military reality, so in this completely fictional world, completely fictional planet, continents, but that it makes it grounds it, I would say. It grounds it
it gives
in
it
a
some
cool
levity.
reality.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So I appreciate that, and for the most part, all the Ace Combat games, except for maybe one, which I think they base it on like a real, on the real planet. For the most part, they do that. They just give you a fictional world, usually something different, and they have their wars, and you are part of the war machine.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. It's nice. The only thing is, I feel you, man. I used to like super enjoy dogfighting games. I could be playing this with the whole task, and I just don't want to like start putting this out and connecting cables, and like I don't want to do any of that. So I'm playing with the gamepad, and it gets annoying sometimes. It gets like infuriating,
Yeah, I tried. What was it? Squadrons.
Oh, you tried Star Wars?
I was Squadrons, and I don't know what I was expecting. I mean, it does have it in the description. To be fair, I didn't spend any money. This came free. It was a PlayStation Plus game, so
yeah.
Or any additional money, I should say technically. But yeah, once I get into that, and you're always just kind of, the person's kind of on the edge of your screen because you're trying to chase them down and you're trying to flank, and it's just like
you're going in circles.
Yeah, you're basically going in circles and hoping that you get a clear shot. And I'm like, this is just, I get it if you like it, but at the same time, I'm like, I just don't. It's not a thing.
Yeah, you're just chasing a tail, basically.
Yeah,
it's like what.
And the rest of the time you're flying, you're enjoying the scenery and stuff like that, and the.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. Like in Star, like I didn't mind it so much in Rogue Squadron, because in Rogue Squadron I was living the Star Wars, that those Star Wars moment, those space battles, and not to mention TIE Fighter is one of my favorite games of all time, so it's almost like reliving that, and it was like I liked it. I like that aspect of it. In Ace Combat, because the flying, it's slightly more towards the realistic, because you're in atmosphere and you gotta be careful with stalling and stuff like that. Even though at the end of the day, still, this is not a simulation. This is Ace Combat 7 is the Forza Horizon of jet dogfighting simulators. So you don't have to worry too much about it. Actually, maybe the Need for Speed I'll probably be more appropriate. But it becomes like, I don't know, it's a little less enjoyable and a little more annoying. There's sometimes that I just had to like put it down because I was tired. I'm trying to stay on target. I'm trying to get this motherfucker I got in front of me, but suddenly you hear the missile, and he doesn't stop. And I'm like, God damn, it's like everybody is fighting against me personally. Like they don't go against my wing man, my squadron, or anybody. They're all targeting me. And I know why they're all targeting me. Is because I am the only threat that they perceive. Everybody else it's just they're just like flying like if it was a fucking flying circus, you know. They have. I'm sorry, but Ace Combat has terrible AI when it comes to your wingmates. They're awful. You know, they can't shoot the enemies down for shit. You know, you're the one, like, they will rack up like maybe one, maybe two kills while you have 17. And
well, that's because you're Maverick, bro. You know what I mean?
I guess so. But then I understand why everybody is just like focus on Maverick. Just take him down. Yeah. He is a real threat to the entirety of our war effort. Cause I hate it. I hate it because I feel like all I'm doing in that game is dodging missiles, you know, and they just give you 5 flares, and of course, you know, you waste them in the first, you know, the first 5 missiles that they sent that they fire at you, and for the entirety of the mission, you're just trying to make sure that you don't get destroyed. It's I don't know. That aspect is kind of annoying with Ace Combat, and it's a shame because I do like this series. I do enjoy, you know, what they try to do with the storytelling. You know, between the missions are presented in this very very Hollywood version of a debriefing of a mission debriefing, like if you're in front of some high tech holograph computer that tells you like everything that's happening, and it looks really cool. And as you move around the missions, every now and then it'll give you a little bit of a story that has to do with someone that is affected by this war, but it's not your character, you know. It's not meant to be. You're not meant to be that person that they're talking about. It's just, hey, almost like a reward, almost like a storytelling reward that it gives you, and it is, you know, it's nice. It is interesting. I do like the conflict. Like I said, they feel grounded in reality. Yeah, man. Let me see. Is that 10 minutes of Ace Combat?
Yeah, just about.
I think I just want to make sure that I fill my allotment because I really don't have anything else.
No need to fluff it up, sir. No need to fluff it up.
I'm not gonna fluff anything up. I'm not a fluffer. All right. I refuse to be a fluffer.
Oh my goodness.
I've been thinking a lot lately about Final Fantasy 13.
Oh my god.
And first of all, which one is, aside from 7 Remake, let's take away 7 Remake, what was your last Final Fantasy experience to completion? Because I almost feel like
completion. Oh my god, we'd be going back.
You didn't play 10. You played 10.
I played 10. I played 10. I played 10. Played 12.
You played 12.
Right. I never played 11 because that was online. I never played 13 because I don't know why I never played 13. Honestly, I think about
awful.
it. I know, but I mean, well, I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. But yeah, and from there, that was it. I've never played 15 because, again, I heard it was, you know, it was sort of a slog.
You never play 15. That's right.
I do own 15 technically, but then again, everybody with PlayStation 5 does because it's part of the collection.
That's right. Yeah.
So, and I think I want to say it's downloaded. Did I download it? Hold on. Maybe I didn't download it. Maybe I just had the idea to do it and I just never did. Because I figured I was like, you know, those are collections, and you never know if they change that up eventually to move some out and move some in. Because some of them are third party, right? There could be a time limit on those. Like this, for instance, this is a Square game, so there could be a time limit that it's only going to be available for the first 3 years of the console life cycle, and then
I haven't even realized that was possible on PlayStation. I didn't know that they will do that.
I mean, we don't know what the deal is. You know, whatever the deal they made, you know, that
I thought
I'm
I
sure
owed them
there's an
forever.
expiration date. No, forever like that. I mean, it could be if that's how they made the deal.
I haven't heard of any PSN game that had expired. I mean, I know games that are no longer available.
No.
Download,
I don't mean that you can't eventually get it yourself on PlayStation Network. What I'm saying is the collection. There's 20 games that are available.
Oh, the 20. Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you have some of them in there that you know that are third party, and it's like, well, they may, you know, expire, and so it's like I might take advantage of it one day to just jump on it real quick. But anyway, that's to answer your question. Is the last one I played to completion, dude? It's a while ago, but because I know I didn't finish 12, but I know I put over 100 hours.
Me neither. I regret that.
Me too. What happened was I was 100 and something hours I saw on the clock, and I know I knew that was the number.
And you stopped playing.
No. I put it down for a bit and started playing something else, and then came back like maybe a month or two later and saw where I was, and I was like, fuck, I don't remember half the shit was going on here, and I'm not starting over because I saw the clock. I was like, I left it at 102 hours.
Oh shit.
So I was like, oh, never mind. Yeah. But a curiosity has struck, at least for just doing the main 13, because I don't think I'd want to go for the whole shebang, but
no.
You know, I don't know. Maybe I may just YouTube it. Who knows? But
everybody's first off, yes, 13 it's not a great Final Fantasy, but it is not trash. It is not trash. And I will say it's not even the worst Final Fantasy, in my opinion. I have a different one that I will put in instead. But 13, it was like I could see what they were trying to do, with it, which was it felt like they were trying to recapture 7, but they couldn't, because when you start playing that, that game, the only reason I mentioned is because I did put Lightning 13.3 for like a hot second, and that got me into a rabbit hole of thinking about this game more and more, even though I was like, I'm not gonna realistically play this, but I just wanted to make sure that it was still workable. There's still work on Steam, and he does, and he's a terrible port also. But if you notice, there's a lot of similarities between, this is a pseudo futuristic, world that has a government oppressed, this group of people, and 13 kind of starts similarly. And wow. 13, I mean, 13's Lightning is basically almost like the version, the female version of Cloud, almost, you would think. And and lightning comes from clouds. So, but I digress. That's not.
Oh wow, well done, sir.
I just made that connection.
Well done, sir.
No. It was 13 has the problem with 13 was that he had a really rough development cycle. If you remember when that game was announced, it was
supposed to be versus. Was it?
Yeah.
No. It was 13.
No. It was supposed to
15 was supposed to be versus 13.
Right. Because there was a whole thing with them building this engine that it looked really good for the time, and I will argue it still looks nice for what it was trying to do. And they were gonna reuse it for 13 and for some other game what was called Versus 13 and another game that I forgot what the hell it was called, and like none of those panned out, or at least didn't pan out in the official way that they were planning on doing them. You got 13.2. We felt like like a holy shit, people really dislike this game, 13 because it was too linear. Let's make a game that feels as non-linear as possible. It's gonna be so non-linear that we're gonna throw in time travel because fuck it, that's why. And a lot of people didn't like it. I happen to like it, And then lightning, I don't know what that is about, But and another thing that I found very curious is that of every Final Fantasy at this point has been made and re-released somehow in some form, except for 13. 13, if anything, it was recently, like, there was a small update made so that you can play it on Game Pass now, and that was it. That was the whole update that it had. Like, it had never, like, Square doesn't even want to acknowledge that it existed, and it's a shame because that game has it has a phenomenal soundtrack. It's probably one of my favorite Final Fantasy soundtracks. So that the music was very well done. The fighting system, even though it was kind of like weird and convoluted, and at that point it was kind of like, oh, I don't want to do this shit. This shit is not the active the active what is it called? The active bar system. How the hell was it? The old Final Fantasy have been up till then. I forgot the name. I forgot the name of the system. Active battle or some shit like that. Anyway,
active time battle. Active time
ATB.
Battle.
ATB.
Active time battle.
Yeah. Well, you have to wait for, and you're selecting from your menus, and anyway, this one was like very, very, very crazy in the fact that it was almost more actiony, and you can see a little bit of that on Final Fantasy remake, believe it or not. It's like Final Fantasy VII remake is what they wanted to do in 13, but they butchered and they couldn't do it in 13, but in 15 they did it right. In 15, sorry.
In 7 remake.
7 remake, sorry, yeah. Yes. Let me not confuse things. In 7 remake, I mean, because it's I found out that it was the same developers, basically, the same team that worked on 13. And you're like, oh shit, what do you know? The one that worked in the arguably the worst of the Final Fantasies, ended up doing what is considered, in my opinion, exactly. At least as far as remaking that. So yeah, man. If they ever were to do something with 13, I will say, why not? Give it a hot chance. I mean, there's certainly worse games and worse stories. Oh, well, actually, is there? The story of 13 is kind. Tell you what, and I'll close with this. I'll tell you what the problem is with the story of 13. It was heavily convoluted and weird, and I'm telling you, it was trying to do that thing with 7, but not having direction. The thing, like, don't ask me, because I could not tell you, even after reading Wikipedia, the plot of that game, I couldn't still tell you what the hell this game was about. But what exacerbated the problem was the fact that a lot of the lore was hidden in this. I think they were called data lores or some shit like that. It was like, if you thought the original Destiny had it bad with the Grimoire, Final Fantasy Final Fantasy 13, like, it had it made with the fucking data lore, or whatever the hell was it called, that you were not explaining what you were doing in the world, or what the world was about, or anything that was matter. like the lore, if you wanted to know about it, you have to search for it and read about it in its library system.
Oh,
I
God,
think
yeah.
it's called data lore. I want to say it's called, and like no one's gonna do that. Only the most hardcore fan is gonna do that. Again, a shame because art design and everything was really good. They could have actually done something special. The problem is, the direct, that it was directionless. That was a problem. It was directionless. It felt like either too many cooks or not a straight vision of what the game is supposed it's supposed to be. So, or maybe it was designed by committee. I don't know. Anyway, I played a little bit of Final Fantasy 13-3, or it's not called that. It's called Lightning Return.
Lightning Returns, yeah.
But I only put it for a hot minute just to see, because I am curious. I have finished the first. I've been 13. I've been 13-2. 13-2 had a crazy ending when you think that everything's happy and good, and suddenly it turns sour really quick, and it just leaves you there. It's like, fuck you. Come back on Lightning Returns, which doesn't pick up directly from where 13-2 left off. It actually starts even more insane. And by that time, I was like, okay, I think I'm not ready for this, and I'll probably never be. So I will not find out what happens on the Fabula Chrysalis saga. I think is what they were calling it.
That's what it's called? Oh, wow.
Yeah, the Fabula Chrysalis.
What is it with them and names, bro? Wait till we get into the news about some crazy ass names that popped up recently. But
yes,
good stuff, sir. Good stuff. For me, I'm still going through the backlog. I went to a game that this is a strange game for the record.
Okay.
It's a game called Adrift. And it's spelled for some reason with a number 1 instead of an I, Adrift. Anyway, this game came out, I want to say 2016, and by a studio called 310. This studio only has one game to their credit, and that is this game. And by the way, the studio shuttered its doors in 2017. So,
I guess Adrift was not very well received then.
I wish I had known that before I decided to take this plunge into what can only be called a boring ass game. So I guess to give some background here, there was a game that I did play, which I actually love, called Observation. This, of course, is Devolver Digital joint. Not love it because it's Devolver Digital. Just it's actually a good game. I want to say it got pretty good reviews as well. But so this one was a cool one. Observation was cool because it was something happened on a spaceship. The game starts. You're actually controlling the AI in the game, and you can, as the AI, you can transfer yourself into different parts of the space station.
Mm-hmm.
And through the cameras and stuff like that. And there's one survivor on, and she's sort of rebooting the system, which is how the game starts like that. You're the AI, you just got rebooted, and now you're trying to piece what the hell happened. And you're trying to help her, and she's helping you by, opening up connections between whatever. And it's like a really awesome mystery. Really well done, really well voice acted by just the one person. I'm not sure. There may be some other voices in there, but the main protagonist, which is I forgot her name, and then the AI, which sounds very similar to, if anybody's seen 2001 Space Odyssey, has that weird voice of the computer AI. Sounds very similar to that.
Hal.
Yeah, Hal. Thank you. And so anyway. So I was like, okay, this, and I looked at Adrift, and this was more of a first person, and this one appeared to be like, oh no, something similar happened. You're above Earth, and visually the game is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's a very good looking game for what it's trying to do, and but you're playing now the person after some disaster happened in a space station above Earth, and so you're piecing it together. But again, it's all about delivery, right? So your suit is damaged, so you're constantly finding these containers to put some air in, and you're floating around. You're trying to open up, specific doors and stuff like that, but nothing happens for a long time. And mind you, I played probably a good hour or two, and it's just, I don't know what was. I guess everything is on text logs. And I was like, that's not how I want a story told to me. You know what I mean? It's like, this is not. And then the fact that your flow, obviously, for the record, very cool that everything is in 0G.
Yes, I know exactly which game you're talking about. You're like an astronaut, basically. And
yeah.
You're adrift.
And exactly. The space station, something happened to the space station. Maybe something crashed into it. If anybody's seen Gravity, that's kind of the reason why. First off, space freaks me out, bro. The concept of being in space is, I would not sleep. I would not sleep. I would.
You're like
just all nerves all the time.
You're like Greg. What's his name? From Game Scoop, or used to be a Game Scoop. Then went to Kind of Funny.
Greg Miller. Yeah,
you're like Greg Miller.
Space either?
He does. Yes, he's like
really. I didn't know that.
Hates it.
Oh, okay. I mean, just the concept of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I know it comes from a lot of the movies I've seen. I get that. You know what I mean? And shows, and it just the concept of no air, this void. There's just no sound. And
you're literally living in a bubble, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And if anything happens to that bubble, you're dead. You know what I mean? It's just like, and out there
for you, we live in a bubble. It's called the planet Earth, and we're slowly popping it. So
you may be right, sir. You may be right, but anyway. Gravity is a great movie, Sandra Bullock movie. That really, that one there had me on edge as well, because again, it has that same, the whole concept is a disaster happens, and she has to sort of make her way back to Earth after the station she was working at got destroyed, and she was that was like her first mission too, which is even worse. It's like, oh my god, and like, oh god, George Clooney was in it. He's awesome because he's fucking George Clooney. Come on, that's real. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here. I'm trying to say that Adrift, I figured, would be somewhere along those lines, and it just was not. You have a way of
I heard it is, though. I heard was it a boring delivery? Is it that nothing is happening and you're just kind of like floating from
nothing seems, you're trying to get power back to certain parts of the station, so there's a mission behind that. But movement is very slow. Even when you hit the boost to try to get you to go faster, it just doesn't go that fast. You know what I mean? And so now I'm just, by the way, it also is using your air to do that. So you have to balance that. So sometimes I go, and then I just wait and let my character eventually get over there. You know what I mean? Because what I'm going to do, I don't want to use everything.
It's kind of realistic. I mean,
it is very, it is very realistic. I give it that much. But it was boring. And like I said, if I'm not being grasped within 2 hours, and I think the game is only like 5-6 hours long, a long game. So I'm like, I'm already approaching the midway point here, and I'm not really engaged.
I'm not really feeling this.
Yeah. So I stopped. So I was like, okay, well, at least I took that off of my. I see what it is. I see what it's bringing to the table, and I just took it off my.
You can take it off the backlog.
The backlog, yeah, and I had to bring up the fact that 310, that was their one and only game, and they're gone. So I went back and started playing buttloads of Hitman 2, and I finished the Hitman 2 story.
Yay!
So. I like where it's going. I understand what was happening. I ended up watching again the no clip for Hitman, and it really kind of shines a light as to why Hitman 2 obviously that was the first one that they were by themselves. They didn't have big publisher Square. That Square had already let them go with the IP at that point. And but you can tell in the cutscenes, right? That's it. You see where the money was cut. It was cut in some of the cutscenes. It was cut in some of the levels too. You can kind of see that, yeah.
But it still did very well, though.
Oh, but the game is still good. Yeah, the game is excellent. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. I'm not saying anything was cut as far as quality and gameplay. All that's there. You know what I mean? It's just you can kind of see the story was a little shortened. Obviously, the cutscenes were more stills. You still had the voice actors and everything, and obviously really good voice actors. But when you compare that to the first one, it's like, oh wow, you've seen the money on display in the first one, and the second one, you're like, okay, I see what coders were cut here. One of the levels is a place in Wisconsin. If I think it was Wisconsin, was it, or some suburb? And it was just this block, and it was like this large. I was like, okay. When you compare that to like Sapienza, you know what I mean, or freaking where else? Marrakesh from the first one, that are these big sprawling areas. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't a very big area at all. Again, still
change of scenery.
Yeah, it's a change of scenery. Still had good what do you call it? Gameplay. Again, the different things that you can do. So I still enjoyed that for what it was, and I still like where the story's going as well. Obviously, I'll keep that spoiler free for anybody who hasn't got that far. But I wanted to try the part one after finishing. I said, let me go back to try the other one, and I know you should be able to access it from here. So every time I go to access it, it's charging me, and I'm like, no, I don't. I own the first game. How do I tell it? I had to freaking literally search this online and say, how do I access Hitman 1 from Hitman 2? And it's a convoluted thing. I had to re-download Hitman 1, access the store from that game. Then it goes. You're looking for the legacy. The legacy pack is what you're looking for. And when the legacy pack in Hitman 2, if I didn't have it, going the way I was trying to go, was charging me. It was like $20 or something like that.
Yeah.
So when I accessed it in Hitman 1, it was free. So I was like, okay. So then I downloaded from there, got out of Hitman, the first Hitman, deleted it, and then I was able. Then when it finally downloaded, I was able to access the thing. None of my progress came over. So I was like, no, what the hell? Wow. And then again, I looked it up, and it's like the progress does not come over from that. And I'm like, that's kind of crummy. You know what I mean?
What the fuck is the point of it then in reality?
Yeah. To be fair, though, I was having fun just replaying them again.
Oh, so you did?
I was just like, let me just get into these again. It also gave me like a desire. I was like, well, at least I can unlock everything again, But they
nobody says that but you.
I know.
At least I can play it again.
At least I can just play it again. But now my concern is Hitman 3, right? And I'm just like, do I have to do all this shit again? Is my progress not going to come over? I haven't looked it up, but I'll look at it eventually. I don't know if I'm going to jump into Hitman 3 immediately. So I'm just kind of having fun with some of the stuff that I've been doing, and
those games are long. I mean, they're vast. They're not long. Yeah. They're vast. They have a lot. They have a lot to do. But yeah, you're not forced in any way to have to complete it. It's more like, do you want to complete it?
Yeah. When I played through the Hitman 2 the first time, the one that I kept going back to was the very, very first one on the beach. In Hitman 2, which is, I don't know why, that was just a fun level. I just like the way it's set up and designed. There's a few other. There's actually, you know what? I'll take it back. There is a huge one in Miami, and I think watching the documentary, the No Clip, it was mentioning how they had some stuff already in place when they heard they were being sold. And it's pretty sure one of them with Miami, the location in Miami. Miami's location was vast. It's the one was like a race car, races happening, and it's just like, whoa, this one is significant, So you can tell again, some of these were already in place, and so it is what it is. I still enjoy it, and I still think it's an excellent game. So I highly recommend that. And I'll see what I do for the next one. But that's all I've been playing. But I did watch a few movies real quick. I saw a movie called Toscana, which was one of my, Toscana, which it does it does take place in Tuscany. Basically, it's about a chef, a Danish chef, and this is kind of one of the reasons why I guess I watched. Well, that and it's because my wife's choice, so really didn't have a choice. But
I started to wonder if that's your excuse. You don't want to say, like, I just grabbed it because hey,
no, this one definitely is
A24. So bite me.
This one definitely was not mine. I would happily admit. I mean, hello, at Bridgerton. I love the heck out of Bridgerton. Though I still say, I wouldn't watch it on my own. But anyway, Toscana is a Danish chef. He ends up inheriting almost like a castle in Tuscany, and it's about him wanting to like it belonged to his dad, and his dad died, and he ended up getting it. And he's kind of like this really passionate chef. He's like one of those restaurants that when they create the dish, they'll put little, smears here and set up some foliage here. And it just looks like a work of art. And it's like, it's supposed to be food, bro. So, yeah. But this is fine dining, right? It's a big thing. Right. And so anyway, he goes over there. Of course, when he goes over there, it's the countryside in Italy, and the food is of amazing quality, obviously, but it's simple. It's coming to you pretty simple. And so anyway, so he ends up wanting just to sell the place because he wants to move on, and he ends up meeting a woman, and it goes, the whole love thing happens from there, and some betrayal and all that stuff. It's in mostly
sounds
English.
Riveting.
Yeah. I gotta say it wasn't that good, really. I will say, if I had to go say this is a 2.5 for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
even to you with the reviewers still and everything.
It is. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say. So it's mostly in English, but that's only when the Danish man is speaking to the Italian folks, because for some reason they don't I guess know each other's language very well, but they all know English. So it's like, okay, sure, I guess that works. But whenever they're by themselves, they're either speaking in Danish or speaking in Italian. So foreign, sort of. You know what I mean? But it's very simple. It's also an hour and a half, so it wasn't a big investment. But no, I
noticed your wife has a very particular taste when it comes to movies. Like they're very, very refined, almost, almost in stark contrast. No, I'm kidding. Definitely something that I would not expect.
Yeah. I think she sometimes she watches stuff on her own and stuff like that, and this one it caught her eye because she just kind of put it on. It has Tuscany. We've been to Tuscany, and we fucking love Tuscany. Right. And so it had, the connection was there. And then at some point, the guy was putting eggs into like a pot of water, but like he's cracking the eggs and putting it in there. And she's like, "What the hell is he doing?" And I'm like, "What is he doing?" And she goes, "Yeah." Then she says, "Is this movie, whatever?" Like, well, let's watch it. Let's get it going. Put it on. But she was watching it on her fucking pad, on her iPad. Not an iPad. Whatever the other thing. What do you call an iPad that's not an iPad? Fuck.
An iPhone.
A tablet. Thank you. A tablet. So she's watching it on her tablet, and so I was like, all right, well, let's put it up here. And we found out what he's doing eventually. He's fucking poaching eggs. I'm like, okay, we get it. I see what he's doing. But for some reason, that's what took us down that road. Anyway.
That was the trailer.
Yeah. 2.5, guys. 2.5. We're not sticking much longer on this fucking movie. The last movie I saw is a little title by Sony called Uncharted.
What?
Yes.
You went Uncharted? I didn't even know that was really.
And Mark Wahlberg. Yes, sir. We ended up watching this. Yeah, it's a movie. It is definitely a movie.
Did you ever watch Red Notice?
No, I have not,
Okay.
Roger.
I was just curious to see if there was any semblance.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. All I know is
You don't
how do
know.
I start this? First off, it's not Uncharted, bro. It is Uncharted by name only. Okay, it
Yeah.
doesn't even use the score. It's like the most classic, score of the game. It's not even in. It is in the credit. I'm sorry, during the end credits you do hear it, but I'm like, what are you doing? You should just put it in the game, in the fucking the movie, right?
Yeah.
It is. It's okay. I mean, I can't say it's bad. I really can't say it's bad because it did have some humorous moments. It did have. I will say, this kid, Tom Holland. He did fairly well for the role. I mean, I was like, yeah, it's he did pretty good.
He's a young Indiana Jones, young Nathan Drake.
Yeah, exactly. Nathan Drake, and but the problem is I couldn't get past the fact that all I saw and all I heard was Pete Parker. That's what I was. That was the problem with it. He didn't act like Pete Parker, because remember, Pete Parker is a little bit more of a nervous kind of guy, kid, essentially. So he wasn't acting that way. He was still being somewhat, brash and what you would expect from Nathan Drake.
He was an adult guy. He was not someone.
Yeah, exactly. Mark Wahlberg did also well, but the furthest looking thing from Sully ever, bro.
That's what I'm thinking. It's like, okay, we're gonna like the person that whoever was the casting director did not give a fuck.
What names can we get? So the reality is, so here's something funny. This movie has been in the making for 13 years.
Ooh, I didn't know that was that long. I know it was long, but yes, I know it was
this has been passed around to director to this, whatever. It's been moving around for so long. Mark Wahlberg was originally meant to play Nathan Drake. And
I would have been okay with that.
I would have been too, but unfortunately he fucking aged out of it. You know what I mean? It's like it took forever for them to get to nail down everything else. And I guess maybe there was some sort of contract. And so maybe that's why he ended up being, this is my assumption here. I have no idea. So maybe that's how he ended up being Sully. But he still does okay. It does feel like he is just like phoning it. He's like really phoning it in. He still has his humorous moments and stuff like that. But the action is not very action packed. There's not a lot of firefights, which is, oh my God, that's literally 90% of the game is firefights.
This is the quintessential, like you have to do the crazy over the top scenes. I mean, this would be
have that. I will admit that there are some massive of epic moments.
It does
which you have seen in the trailers is one of them, which that's literally right out of the game. I think that was from Uncharted 3, if I recall correctly.
Right. Yes, I know which one.
That's literally right out of the game. Yeah. And so you have those moments, but they're so CG, bro. It's just like, it's nothing. First off, some of it doesn't make sense. It's like, that's not how physics works, but hey, we'll go with it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So some of it doesn't really
especially
make sense.
Like when they're hanging from from let's say a moving plane, and their hair is like intact. It's like it's not moving anywhere. It's like you couldn't turn a fan or anything.
This is why you gotta appreciate, as much as I know he's a crazy nut, you gotta appreciate Tom Cruise for one thing. When he does shit, it's him out there doing shit. Mission Impossible, when he's trying to get into the plane door as the plane is taking off. The plane is taking off with him. You can tell that's not fake. Obviously he's harnessed, you know what I mean? But it's not fake. It's like, it looks and feels real. And this is like, in many ways that I love that about his, when he does that in movies. But it really like worsens other films like this. It's like, well, now I just know. First off, there's a really major epic thing, which in essence is kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, the concept of it's kind of cool, but it's just like no point did you feel anyone was any actual peril. You know what I mean?
No
And so.
stakes.
Yeah, because again, it was just all CG. It was just everything you're seeing on the screen right now. None of this is out there. None of it. You can tell. The mystery of putting of what they were trying to discuss, like, because if anybody knows Uncharted, it's basically, like you said, Indiana Jones, Sahara, National Treasure type of movie, where it's you're unlocking old ancient stuff to discover the lost item that will lead you to the lost city, whatever. That's essentially what
I watched Dora the Explorer, so I know.
Dora the Explorer, exactly. So you have your basis, right? You have the guideline. But that's not even interesting. Whatever it is that is, like the mystery behind it. I don't know what they're not doing. I just couldn't put my finger on it, but it's like none of this is interesting to me. Like, I've seen National Treasure, and I'm not saying that's a great movie, but it's fun. It's fun seeing them unlock, the discover this thing that because it's hidden behind here, and these guys, I think they were in Italy, if I'm not mistaken. So they were. It's not like they weren't, in some set or something like that. And it just, I don't know, bro. It was okay. I can't say it's bad. I really cannot say it's bad, because it's really not bad. And critically, I should say that. Like, if you look at Rotten Tomatoes, it's like night and day. Critics are at 44%. Fans are the audiences are at 90%. And it's like people are having fun with this movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think it was
the fans. It's gonna be the fans, and
remember, they're not all fans. You know what I mean? I can tell you right now, an Uncharted fan is probably going to walk away from this going, "This is crap."
It's like, what the fuck? And meanwhile, we have a perfect short on YouTube of Nathan Fillion actually playing the role of Nathan Drake on a very like a short film with a proper Sully that looks amazing, and of course Nathan Fillion as Drake, also fantastic, and it's like, yes, that's what I wanted.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. The I don't know what it is. It says the writing wasn't very good when it came to, like, again, the banter in the game. Like, people play the game. There's certain things you expect. First off, it's graphics, obviously, because this is a Naughty Dog joint. Right. And so you also expect beautiful visuals here. You know what I mean? Yeah. And again, technically, some of the CG was really, really well done. Some of them was a little hit and miss.
But the writing should be
the writing, yeah, it should be. And I saw his name. Neil Druckmann was involved, and I'm just like, I think you need to be a little more involved. I mean, I don't know how much he did in the original Uncharted. Anyway, I know he became lead by Uncharted 4 after Amy Hennig left. But so I don't know. That may not be his stick. Last of Us may be more his thing. But anyway, just the banter wasn't there. I know they tried some banter. You see it in the trailer and stuff like that. But it's like, it's not. I don't know. It's just not. It's not the same. It's not working. Yeah.
No. These people are not having the chemistry.
Yeah. What is her name? Oh God. Fuck. What is her name? Hold on. Let me get her name here.
I already got it. No. Ooh.
No, it is Chloe. So we have Chloe Fraser from the game. She's in here as well. I feel her role's kind of wasted. It doesn't feel, I don't know, doesn't feel prominent. And I don't know, dude. It's okay. I mean, I can't say it's bad. It's okay. I have to.
It's kind of it's kind of what I expected it to end up being, because the moment you see that, that trailer and all that, and I'm sorry, nothing against, obviously, Tom Holland or Mark Wahlberg, but those are not the cast for an Uncharted project. And just seeing them, when I found out that they were making that Uncharted, movie, and then we saw the trailer, I was like, okay, so I kind of have an idea what to expect. It's gonna be one of those movies where the name is what invokes the video game is just gonna be invoked by the name itself and nothing else. It's gonna be like the Doom movie.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. But there's a couple of drops and maybe a cameo or two where it's like, oh, okay, all right, I get it. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's one of those things.
Oh,
like,
you forced the third person on me.
It's one. It's one of those things where you see it and you just go, why is that even? That was unnecessary. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like there to remind you again. Hey, this is an Uncharted movie. Check it out. You know? And it's like, yeah, we know. Too bad it's the rest of the movie doesn't feel like Uncharted except for this one tiny reference here. You know, and I don't know, bro. I don't know what to say other than no desire to see. And yes, for the record, it looks clear that it will be another one. So
they're setting up the of course, because of course everything money, franchise.
Yeah, money wise, it's there too. You know what I mean? It's like they made money. Sony made money on this. You know what I mean? So like, money talks, guys. That's what it says. The money tells a story, and if that story is, hey, people like it, then you know, because that's what they think.
Well, apparently the people did like it, you know. So
true.
Fuck the critics.
True. Yeah. Who gives a shit about the critics? Yeah.
Fuck the Oscars.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll just have to say that I can't give it a 2.5. But I'll give it a 3. I feel like 2.5 is just lower than it really should. Like it's not a 2.5. There is some good stuff here. But overall, you know, the sum of its parts are not. No, but
a 3 is pretty good. Oh, a 3 is
a 3 is just good.
Okay, well, just good. Fair enough. A 3 is good, and that feels right for this.
Yeah. Anyway, that, ladies and gentlemen, obviously, you know, the hot topic is something else that he and I have also seen, but we'll get to that a little later on.
We're gonna embargo you for the next 30 seconds, or not even. Well, we'll jump into the hot topic. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. But it happened, and it's part of
it exists. You know what I mean? And it's what is it? 90s? I feel like that's the 90s, right? 90s,
early 90s. Yeah,
is it early 90s? Yeah. So you know, it was a thing. It was like the "What's up, guys? What's that?" You know, it's like that existed for a little bit. It was fun. We all liked it. We all
did it.
You know, yeah. And here we are with Beavis and Butthead, and suddenly we're regressing as a freaking species at this point. So
you got to remember. So first of all, this is Paramount Plus.
Desperation mode is what I'm seeing. Yes.
They don't really have much. Whatever they have, whatever scraps they have, they're gonna try to use them somehow because they have to justify the existence of that streaming service. Now, mind you, this is a streaming service that has Star Trek, and I don't hate Star Trek. I like Star Trek, but Star Trek passed already. And sorry, the Discovery, whatever it is, that ain't it. And I've heard good things about Star Trek, the Strange New Worlds. Mm-hmm. I heard good things, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not running to watch the next episode, and I'm not gonna watch Picard and none of that. So I'm watching Halo for what it is.
Is that where's that? That's also on Paramount? That is on Paramount.
That is on Paramount.
That is on Paramount. Okay, yeah. You're right. This is obviously trying to justify their own network and
literally
and this is literally the cheapest. I mean, this is animation and not very good animation, mind you.
Nope.
And it's the cheapest thing that they could do. It's just sad. It really is sad. It is sad. I am sad for us as a people.
What else Paramount had? You know,
the Northman is coming to Paramount, and I think comes out soon to Paramount, and that's a worthy film.
Which one?
The Northman. The Northman. That was it's actually
The Northman. Yes.
Yeah, in the theaters and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're back, guys, and we're not doing a trailer of the week for no.
Yeah, what trailer?
Yeah,
I can't do it.
I used to be able to do it, and I refuse to try again because I'm a grown ass man.
Come on, you just one more time, just while it's getting recorded, just so that people know you need TP for your bunghole.
You guys are going to have to imagine it for yourselves. And enjoy that.
Beavis and Butthead is back, guys, and it's there's a movie. It's happening for some reason, whatever. Yeah. We're not gonna because we have decided not to. We have decided not to not even to acknowledge,
to honor it with even the fact that we actually the greatest thing we did for that movie right now was sit for 2 minutes to watch this trailer, and I refuse to go further.
We watched we watched everything that was worth of, about it already. Like, we didn't need to.
Yeah, exactly. So let's quickly go into some news items. First and foremost, we got to get into the free games for June.
Oh, that's right. It's June.
It is June. New month, guys. New month. We'll start with Xbox Games with Gold, because why not?
Might as well get those out.
Get them out of the way, right? Exactly. So here are the June games with Gold that are available. Starting, I guess, already now. Avon Colony will be available from June 1st through the 30th. Project High Rise, the Architects Edition, will be available from June 16th through the 15th of July. Super Meat Boy will be available from the 1st to the 15th of June.
Have you played Meat Boy?
Yeah. No, I think I only played Super Meat Boy. I didn't know there was a Meat Boy.
Oh, sorry. Super Meat Boy. Wait, wasn't there? Was Meat Boy and Super Meat Boy is the one that came out? Fuck, what is it that they're doing? They're not doing Super Meat Boy 2.
No, this is the very first one that came out 30 years ago.
30. That's the one that they're giving us.
That's the one they're giving you.
Even though there is a new project, there's a new Super Meat Boy project, or maybe it was a remake. I don't know.
I think. Let me see. Super Meat Boy game series. Let's see. Forever. Super Meat Boy Forever is the other one.
Super Meat Boy Forever. Oh, I thought they were giving us that.
No, this is the OG Super Meat Boy.
Super Meat Boy. Okay.
Originally released back in 1980. No, 2010. 2010 is when.
2010. I was close. I was gonna say 2011, but no, 2010. Yes. Yeah. Holy shit! This game is over 10 years already.
Yeah. Isn't that something? And the last game is Rascals. I don't know what that is, but it goes from June 16th through the 30th. So good job. Hopefully you guys have Game Pass, because not much else going on there.
I mean, if you have Xbox, you don't have Game Pass. What are you doing with your life?
I know. Seriously wasted.
What are you doing? Play Call of Duty only?
Has to be that. It has to be that.
Fortnite.
PlayStation Camp will have their free games for June are first God of War, the reboot, the 2018 soft reboot.
That's a game.
Yeah, it is a game, yeah. And coming to PlayStation 4.
But still.
It is a PlayStation 4. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker, also for PlayStation 4. And Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl for PlayStation 4. And
I heard good things. I heard good things. Not for me, but I heard good things.
Agree. And Naruto to Boruto is a 4v4 online multiplayer ninja action game. Also coming out in 2018. And
Naruto, the stupidest ninja that exists, because he wears bright orange. Because fuck you, conventional ninjas. That's why.
Don't you remember the
it makes sense.
The American Ninja series, not series, not a series like a show. The movies. This is like the 80s. American
Ninja movie. Yes, I actually do remember that. With
Dudikoff. I think David Dudikoff.
I don't know the actor, right? I do know that. Those are straight to video, like fucking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but you remember the ninjas always came out like in different colors. Like the color depended on like their skill, right? So the white ninjas were like, oh, these guys you can just slap around, whatever. And then you had the yellow, whatever. And then when you get to the black ninjas, like, whoa, this is a ninja master, some stupid shit like that.
Those are movies about ninjas from people that have no idea what the whole ninja was. Like you realize that a little bit of the thing that the ninja thing has to do with stealth, and it's a little bit difficult to be stealthy when you have, I don't know, yellow,
bright ass colors,
bright orange, warm colors.
Yeah. It's a shame, but I remember watching those movies. And I was a kid, so I thought they were cool.
My dad rented a few of those, and they were probably very terrible, but we still super enjoyed them.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think I'd ever sit for them again. But anyway, next and last, because I just really wanted to get this news piece here. We had a state of play. Sony had a state of play recently. Released yesterday or shown off yesterday, and I have to say, pleasantly surprised with what they announced. I'm going to go through the announcement. I feel like 15 games, I think.
I did see I did see a couple of games where I was like, Martin, the video game. And then the next one will come out and I'm like, oh no, I'm sorry. My apologies. This is Martin, the video game. These are the games that not just speak to you, they got your number and they call you anytime they want.
they could, especially if they happen to be involved with Devolver for
Devolver, exactly. Yes.
So right out the gate, man, they showed off Resident Evil 4 remake. Looks like they also dated it. March 23rd, 2023. It was more cinematics than anything else, but it did kind of show off the style they were going for, and I guess that was probably my concern. I was like, are they going to keep the sepia tone that the original game had? What were they going to do?
Holy shit! I knew about that, but I never heard it out loud. And now I will not be able to not see the sepia tone of the games. I thought it was just colorless, but it's a choice.
Exactly. It's this constant dusk.
I'm going to keep the sepia tone. Oh my god.
But clearly they're not. It looks like first off, the RE engine is easily flexing its muscles here, because it just from the cinematics that we saw, obviously. I don't think we saw any gameplay. I think we saw that they did tease the lid at the very end of the trailer. They kind of teased with the look, because let's face it, at the end of the day, I mean, aside of whatever the hell is it that they're doing with their VR bullshit, it's still going to be RE4, right? We're still going to have that perspective, and it's probably going to feel different. It's not going to be tank controls. It's going to be very nice and really good. Like, they're going to do an excellent job, like they have done with the previous RE remakes. Mm-hmm. All right, so no, absolutely no doubt on that. So that's what you get to see at the very end of that trailer. At the end of the trailer,
from behind, from Leon behind. It's like,
right, that's right, yeah, okay, yeah, it does look. I'm just have it playing here in front of me, so I can kind of have a reference point. But it does look good. I'm actually kind of excited on that. I never actually finished Resident Evil 4, the original.
Really?
I don't know what happened.
And you never picked up any other one? I got. What? Any of the many times did they have released this game?
No. Yes. I did not.
They have released so many times. There's so many opportunities to
I want to say I had the PlayStation 3 version, but that was
it. They were probably at the PlayStation 3 version. There was a Nintendo version. And I was like they fucking. This Resident Evil 4 is the Skyrim, the next Skyrim, of re-release games.
Yep.
But that's okay, because now we're getting like the definitive Ultimate Edition, except that it doesn't have the sepia tone, so fuck it. They messed it up. I don't want it. if they don't include that filter,
I was gonna say they include a filter for you, so you never know.
Yes.
And from there, of course, they went on into the VR stuff. It looks like they are working on VR for this as well. Mm-hmm. Also for Resident Evil Village. Someone who's played Resident Evil Village, there are several moments in that game I would not want to be in fucking first person doing. So I'm just saying. And of course,
every time I want to play something new, I forget that I own those games. It's like and my mind completely blocks the fact that Village. I own those games on console. It's like shit.
I'm gonna need you to take the game out, put it somewhere within view, because out of sight is out of mind.
Yeah, that's what
put it somewhere within view, and the next time you play, boom, you got something.
I probably need to hang it from like a collar or something. You just have it like dangling like a medallion. It's like, oh, this is Resident Evil. Yeah, this is just in case of bored, to just break the collar.
Exactly, nailed it. Then, of course, I went to a little more on the VR for Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners Chapter 2, and No Man's Sky. I'm not into VR, so I'm going to skip that. An interesting one, although I think it was foreseen, like we kind of knew this was eventually going to happen, but very exciting, I think, for a lot. And I think you may double dip, sir. Spider-Man Remastered coming to PC August 12th.
I hate to admit the fact that I will buy this game and I won't play this game again, because remember I've been twice already right now, right? I did. No, I'm sorry.
Did you
I beat it. I beat it once on PlayStation 4, and then when PlayStation 5 came out, because it allowed you to transfer your save, I just played the DLC because I haven't played the DLC.
Gotcha.
And then I was done with that. And then I was able to jump into Mike Morales. I remember that's what happened. So
I think this is a very smart move. And fun fact here, I wanted to make sure I mention because this actually came out recently. By the way, this is one of the first Nixxes ports. So we'll get to see how, them flex their muscles in importing this to.
They have already done such a good job with ports overall. That that's the part that excites me. But Spider-Man was a game that was performed so well already. Like that one, I can definitely say we got the ultimate version when we got the PS5 release. I'm not sure how much more
I'm mods,
get from playing this.
I mean, maybe not you, but mods. Yeah, the modding community can have a ball with that. So I wanted to point out real quick. This is an article that recently came out, and it's an amazing thing. Marvel Spider-Man has recorded a milestone. Total sales for PlayStation for PlayStation between PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4 of 2018 Spider-Man and its spin-off Miles Morales together, 33 million copies globally. That is massive, and it's only on one system. Now that it's going to PC, I can see that easily adding to that number. So
I saw. All I had to do was go to the fucking NeoGAF and Reset Eras and check on what the people was talking about, and it's like everybody's like excited.
Yeah,
and I am too. Honestly, I just know from my experience with Horizon. Like I started playing Horizon on PC. I was like, yes, this looks amazing, but I already had this experience, and I can also get it like this on console. So I haven't continued. And same thing with God of War. I started playing God of War. I mean, you heard me talk about it the other day. Almost, I was playing God of War and PC. Yes, this is great, but fuck, if a console hasn't come a really long way now, haven't they?
Yeah, I know.
I can no longer say, I have the 60 frames per second experience. No, asshole, because now the console passes have the 60 frames per second experience. Thank you very much. And the 4K and the big screen and the comfy couch. So
to boot, right? A comfy couch to boot.
Exactly.
Wow. Comfy couch to boot. That's hilarious.
So it's like it's no longer, and I no longer have super widescreen or anything like that. And even that, I feel like that was very niche, right? So it's like, I think I'm good. I shouldn't be double dipping on them, but it's almost like they're so good games, like Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War. Those are great games. I'm excited to own them on PC. Even if at some point the PS6 comes out and I completely get rid of my PS5 and I no longer have access to my, to the games for whatever reason, I can play them here. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I would like to think that both Sony and Xbox get it, that you own it and it should automatically. I mean, they need to get on board with that already. That just needs to happen. If there's a PlayStation 6, Xbox Series, I don't know, Z, you know what I mean? It everything you already have here should automatically it just should easily download to the next one, and with enhancements if needed and stuff.
Yeah, because now they can't. So they can't say excuse of. Well, actually.
No, because there's no cell processor. These are all running on very similar architecture.
Yeah.
So
they 4 and 5. I feel like whatever PlayStation 4 games you own, you can run them on PlayStation 5. That was the surprise. Remember, like when that was like nobody knew. Like we were like, oh, Xbox know how to do backwards compatibility very well already. They have shown their chops, but I don't know, PlayStation ain't that no one. And then they just fucking like nailed it, like fucking like destroy it out of the park with their perfect emulation. And it's like, okay. Turns out we had absolutely zero to worry about. Alpha zero.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. I guess those PlayStation 6. I mean, I will expect to be able to play my PlayStation 5 games. Yeah,
exactly. You don't do that, and PlayStation 4, and just everything should just carry over. I don't know about anything before that. I mean, but yeah. So the next game they showed off was, or next one I have on my list here is Horizon Call of the Mountain, which is another PS VR 2 title by Firesprite, which is a newly acquired studio of theirs as well. Looks interesting, but it's VR, and I'm not really. I'm not into that shit. However, they did mention some updates that's coming to the current Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh, you're talking about Journey to the West.
Yes, Journey to the West. Performance mode. Transmog, resetting some skills. And what else do we have? Ultra hard difficulty because someone wants that. And New Game Plus, which will replay with your end gear.
Listen, if by someone you mean dark, yes, he wants that. All right, exactly, thank you very much.
It's dark. Someone is his middle name. Yeah, exactly.
Someone, exactly. Jose, someone dark.
Someone dark. Exactly. Nailed it. Some new skins and new outfits and stuff like that. So that's the update that's coming to Horizon, which is actually available now. So if you actually own the game, it's already there.
I think it's time, bro. I think it's time.
I don't know, dude. I have so much on my backlog installed that I'm like, I really need to get a good chunk of it out of there. But I am going to do it before the end of the year. Obviously, end of the game of the year discussions, I need to have that. About it, exactly. Yeah. It's
just I don't want. It's like now I've waited so long that I don't want to pay full price for it. It's like I didn't even pay full price when the game was new. I see it in Amazon. And it's always $59 for the PlayStation 4 version and $69 for the PlayStation 5 version. And I'm like, I don't know, guys, kind of fuck you. It's been a while now. And these games should be priced this expensive, but I realize it's still Horizon.
It's still fairly new. I mean, it's not that, because it came out, February? Same time Elden Ring came out. I think Elden Ring is still $60, so.
No, but at least you see Elden Ring on sales every now and then. I've seen it go down a little bit. I mean, not much, but a little bit, like $10. Okay. Give me that at least.
I think, and I'm getting off topic here, but I think Elden Ring kind of affected the sales a little bit of Horizon Forbidden. As much as we thought it was probably not going to smear too much, I think it kind of did, because the reality is, if it sell bangers, we'd know by now from Sony. They would have already
said, mentioned something.
Yeah, they would have already said it, like, oh, it's already. So that's why I kind of think it may not be dropping just yet. Maybe they're just waiting people to get off of Elden Ring, and then we'll come, like us, for instance, and get off of Elden Ring and come back around. But anyway, we'll come around to it eventually.
No, again.
Yeah. Another thing they showed off, the Callisto Protocol. Not really a fan of the name, but
no, I told you they changed the name.
What was it before?
It was the Callisto Protocol, and just last night they changed the name.
Oh, it still has it listed here. So what's the name?
It's called Not Dead Space. So people don't get confused on it. It was a marketing decision. I sent you the link. It was a marketing decision. They decided to go with Not Dead Space.
Yeah, because this thing is Dead Space more than Dead Space is at this point. And it's set to release December 2nd, sir. Do you think this one crosses the line into 2023?
Well, does it go? Does it get delayed? Absolutely. First of all, let's address the fact that the reason why it looks like Dead Space is because it's from the creator of Dead Space.
The old Visceral Games folks.
Right. And yeah, it was obvious that they were going for that. I don't know. I don't even know if I care. To be honest, and I'm not saying, not in the sense of I don't care about the game. I certainly care about the game. I want that game to be good because it looks pretty rad.
Yeah, but it does look really good.
But like, take your time, guys. Like, if you can
make it, I feel like they're trying to jump Dead Space, if you will. Because when does Dead Space come out? Dead Space remake. Let me see here.
Dead Space remake. I feel like it's. Remake. I mean,
that's definitely 2023 because I got delayed. I know on our draft. On our video game fantasy league, someone picked that, and it got delayed.
Right? Yeah.
Release date, it's definitely 2023, but it doesn't say when. I don't know. It got delayed.
I could see Callisto falling. It's just I heard so little of it that I can't tell. Like, it'll be a wild guess to say if they delay it or not. And like, would it matter? I mean, certainly it will not be good for them to get too close to Dead Space, because
so it's the second quarter of 2020, somewhere between April and June of 2023.
That's Dead Space, right?
Yeah, Dead Space remake. Yep.
Okay.
So anyway, Callisto Protocol looks really, really good. Definitely has, some serious, vibes of Dead Space, and looking forward to that. The next game on the list that I have, Roller Drome, was definitely an odd one.
Roller Drome was kind of crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. A violent yet stylish roller skating battler. Will released in August by developers Roll7. Kind of new guys. I don't know. And Private Division looks like it's also involved. The art style definitely reminded me of Sable. Which is a game that came to Xbox, but yeah, that's about it. It just has the same art style, but this thing,
I like the idea of it. It's just it's not the type of game that I think I will spend time. If it's a battler, that means multiplayer, which I don't typically do. Like,
yeah, exactly.
PvP, I don't typically do that. It looks cool.
What she's shooting at, the roller skater here. First off, they're not roller skating; only she is. And what they look like is this may not be a multiplayer. It may actually be single player. That's what I'm looking at it here. Just
single player. That makes no sense.
I know.
Why would they make a? Yeah. No, that's got to be.
More to come, because I have no idea, but there's not showing anybody else roller skating. It's just her. So who else? And she's shooting people who are not.
People.
But they're not roller skating. Yeah.
You think that's PvE?
Maybe PvE. You mean?
PvP.
I mean
PvE. Yeah, PvE.
Maybe it could be. We'll see.
don't know. I doubt it.
It's a strange one, yeah. Another strange one, Eternites, which is a horrible name.
Oh, it's a horrible fucking everything.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I was like, okay, this is the nope of the show.
The nope of the show. Yeah, it's an action game and dating sim that will come out next year for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5.
Ooh, yeah, no, I feel like this is one of those Atlus joints that it's like, guys, you don't need to bring every Japanese game here. It's like there's some games that
can stay over there. Yeah,
they don't speak to our our sensibilities, if you will.
Speak for yourself. So there's an entire weeb nation that disagrees with you.
I don't know. Sometimes, dude.
Definitely nothing of this game really caught my eye.
The dialogue is horrible. It's like, oh my god,
I don't remember the dialogue. Yeah. Well, I mean, wouldn't expect that. And with the title Eternites, it's just stupid. Anyway,
It's like, no,
Street Fighter 6 trailer shown with a release. Was there a release date? No, I don't think there was a release date.
They changed the logo at least.
Yes, apparently they heard. Yes. They understood and said, "Okay, we'll do." Looked pretty cool, but it it's more Street Fighter. So
I guess Street Fighter now is synonymous with, let's just throw fighting and ink. We're gonna on Black is on Street Fighter 4. It's just gonna be like drawing. On Street Fighter 5 is gonna be more like wet paint, and now in 6 it's just gonna go with colorful ink. It's like at one point I was like, "What the fuck is this? Are they fighting or is this Splatoon? What the hell is going on?"
Not only that, there is what appears to be the only thing that comes to mind. It appears to be like I don't want to say like there's a game within a game.
Like a lobby system? I saw it as a lobby system.
Is that what it is? Bit. Okay. I thought it was going to be something like, because there's a lot of areas. So I don't know if these areas are for fighting or for roaming. And if you remember, I'm trying to think of it's fucking Mortal Kombat Deception, I think it was. I had that like story portion in it, so I wonder if that's what this is supposed to be, sort of story mission.
Gee, you know what? Maybe, I mean, if that was the case, that looked decent for a lobby, but not great for like a story section. Like I don't know if that's what they're looking for. Also, I didn't particularly see them fighting against like mobs or anything like that.
No, he was out in let me see, the character goes out, there's a couple mobs running after him. I don't know if you have the trailer up. But you see him, he's walking through New York City. I mean, it's a big lobby, if that's what and he's going into dude, this looks like it's a little mini open
New York City. This is Mad Gear City.
Yeah, this is Mega City, or
I forgot what
Arcane Nation, whatever. Yeah. So it does look like he is going through different areas, just like kind of wandering. So I don't know.
Maybe it has some roaming element to it. I mean, the question is, are they gonna release the game full this time?
I guess we'll see. I hope they learned their lesson from the first time, but it's Capcom. Although this, I guess that's not actually a good thing to say anymore, because Capcom's actually been pretty good when it comes to their game releases recently. So I take that
lately I feel like perhaps.
And this is also not going to be just on PlayStation. It will be also on Xbox.
They definitely learned their lesson. Also,
So,
but I bet there's going to be some heavy marketing with PlayStation.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. Especially since PlayStation owns Evo, so of course that's going to be the case.
Remember that song from from Street Fighter 4, the original, not like the patches that they threw in later on, but the legit vanilla Street Fighter 4. Oh, the song is awesome.
Speaking of Xbox, apparently a game that I thought was going to be exclusive to their camp is coming to PlayStation. Tunic will launch on PlayStation 4 and 5 on September 27th. I'm definitely looking forward to that one because that is.
I know you are.
Yeah, well, that's right up my fucking alley right there. The game that you probably sent me, if I'm not mistaken, Season, A Letter of the Future, coming to PlayStation, an indie game from Scavenger Studios. Yeah, that definitely is me. Stray finally gets a date, July 19th. Yep,
that's you too.
Yeah, it sure is. You laugh, but I bet you that's going to do good. It better do good because I think I win in bid for it.
I think we're getting that free next month.
Yeah, if you wait. Is it? I mean, PlayStation Plus members will get it no extra cost. Yeah. Look at that.
There you go. Look at that.
And then finally, we got a trailer for Final Fantasy 16, the next in the main line of Final Fantasy games.
Final Fantasy of Thrones.
Final Fantasy of Thrones. I think that is an apt description. It is coming out in the summer of 2023. And I gotta say,
don't even. I don't want to hear it. All right, don't even.
Okay,
you're not gonna play it. You're not gonna play it. You're gonna tell me it's interesting. You're probably checking. It's gonna be your radar's gonna be excited, and then it's gonna come out. It's gonna be released, and fuck it. You're not even gonna bat an eye.
So first off, I resent this comment. No, I'm just kidding.
Boy, you're absolutely right.
But you probably are right. No, it does look interesting, is what I was going to say. It looks interesting, and it potentially, if they can Final Fantasy VII remake this kind of this mainline story, potentially being probably a big player next year. As far absolutely. As as far as game of the year and stuff like that, because you got to admit, I assume you saw the whole thing. It looks really, really good, and it does look and feel a little bit like what they did with remake 7 remake. And so, but you're right, it does also have that really gritty, medieval ness to it, which is kind of cool. It's kind of it's not. See, you know where you're gonna go with this.
Yeah, like it's not that you saw me. You literally saw me. You're gonna go with this.
Oh god, we're going back to that. And it's like, yeah, but if we could go back to that, and as you mentioned, make it Game of Thrones-ish, and really make it more like with Final Fantasy 12. I think the story of Final Fantasy 12 was fascinating. It was much more political. It had a lot of intrigue and stuff like that. If you could do that, and also have that dragon, stuff like that, I think it could be good. Now, do I trust Square Enix to do this? I don't know.
It could be very hit or miss.
Yeah,
I do. No, I honestly did like I thought
there's a Jamie Lannister lookalike apparently in the account. No,
yes,
you saw, right?
You're not wrong. I'm telling you, it's like okay, you're definitely wearing your
inspiration,
inspiration on your sleeve. It's very, very obvious, but that's fine. I'm gonna side because it is different. Mm-hmm. It's not going back to the quasi futuristic or weird world, which I enjoy. Honestly, when I started seeing the concept art of Final Fantasy 16, there was a part of me that was a little disappointed because it's like, oh no, I'm not getting the steampunk, of 7 or the techno of, I don't know, maybe 13 even. 13 had a cool art style. Everything else was problematic, but the art style itself was cool. Like I'm not getting that. It seems like we're just going back to the Warriors of Light and all that jazz, and that disappointed me a little bit. But as it started, we started seeing more and more of it, and looking at it. It almost looks like a throw between Vikings and Game of Thrones. I'm like, okay, this could work out. This could be something, an interesting setting, because it lends itself to be more serious, like you said, like the story of Final Fantasy of Final Fantasy 12. Because even 15, I don't want to let 15 pass. At some point, I need to buckle up and just plow through, because there were some things and some styles that I did like, and I don't want to miss it. But it gets kind of jovial and silly and modern and all that. So it's gonna be like, there's gonna be a little bit too many jokey parts that I'm not gonna care for. I'm not saying that I want my Final Fantasy humorless, but I like a mature story. It's time to deliver.
That's what this looks like. It looks like they're going to go. Now, again, I don't know as far as voice acting. I don't know as far as writing. You know what I mean? Because
it's gonna come down to the what do you call the like, not translation, but what's the localization?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
It's gonna come down to the localization. Final Fantasy 12, they fucking nailed the localization so good. It's probably one of the best examples ever.
I agree.
But
I think that's why it has probably one of the better storylines, and why I put so much time in it.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, but I love 7 Remake, but that localization was not stellar. It was not the worst example, but it was not stellar. So
yeah. Let's not get started on Aerith here.
You mean the adult chick that is supposed to be like our waifu, but she acts too much like a 12-year-old?
Yeah. That'd be the one. That'd be the one.
That'd be the one.
So anyway, that's all we got for news, guys. Let's go ahead and move into our hot topic of the week. Hot topic again, guys, is a return to form for Stranger Things.
Oh my God, they saved Stranger Things.
They sure freaking did.
And now they're gonna end it.
And now they're gonna screw it up. No. I know, that's just being negative. Real quick, before we go any further, we are going to speak openly about seasons 1 through 4. 1 through 4, part 1, obviously, because we haven't seen part 2 because it doesn't exist yet. And so if you haven't seen it, or you don't, if you haven't seen it at all and you don't want to be spoiled, please stop and come back. If you don't care and you have seen it, then proceed as normal. Mr. Santos, I'm going to start with you, bro, because I am so curious. Because I've already had my first of all, we burned through this last weekend, okay, and these were not short episodes. Okay,
no, they were not. They were mini movies.
They were the last episode was an hour and a half. I was like, son of a bitch, this is a length of a film. And so man, what'd you think overall with what the Duffer Brothers did in season 4?
Overall, because you guys, those that don't know, I came in late to Stranger Things. I mean, I started watching it around the time that everybody was watching it with the whole hoopla, but I fell off around chapters maybe chapter 5, if I had to guess now, because I don't remember of the first season. Of the first season, and it was not that I was not enjoying it. It was, I don't know. It was a group of a combination of things, so I kind of left it. My wife continued watching it all the seasons as they came out, all the way to season 3. And then we had that day where we had the trailer of the week happened to be
season 4.
Season 4. Season 4 trailer for Stranger Things, and you were very elated, excited about it, and I'm like, you know what? I think it's time. I'll go back. I went back and watched it, because I remember this being something special. I remember this being something enjoyable. Didn't have me like at the edge of my seat or anything like that. No, and it probably won't, but I need to watch something, because after The Expanse, like, I don't want to watch TV anymore.
TV has no meaning.
Yeah, so exactly. I mean, I was feeling sad of losing of finishing Halo, of all things. So how desperate was I going? So I started, I watched, all the seasons, very recently, almost back to back, to a series of a good couple of weeks. And I was like, season 1 is great. Season 2 is good. Season 3 is where it was starting to lose me. I was like, very what the fucky. And not in the sense of like, wow, that's crazy. More in the sense of, wow, this is so not strange at all for the things.
It started to get, it started a little long in the tooth. No, I guess that's not the right thing, but just a little. You're right. It was getting more silly than it was.
It was goofy. Yeah, it was kooky. Yeah. It was like, okay, so maybe, but we knew already that the plan was, okay, season 4 is the final one. So if season 3 was gonna like give itself away with being like kooky, then I was like, well, I guess at least it's gonna die young. I mean, it's gonna die. It's not gonna hurt so much. It's not gonna have a painful death like Walking Dead or something like that. It's just gonna be like, it's time to pull the plug, because now I'm fucking mad that they're pulling the plug,
because they found their rhythm. Yeah.
Dude, holy shit. The reason why we're calling this topic the return to form has to do with the fact that it looked like it was getting lost. It looks like it was getting into like, they should end it, because I'm not sure if I can take another season of this BS and the silliness. And they course corrected and they fixed it. Some might say they overcorrected a little bit in some areas, but it's fine, because it kind of needed that overcorrection.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say it required a shift. You know what I mean? Because it was starting
to grab that wheel and just yank it to
exactly
yank it to the middle of the road again.
My wife, she actually didn't like season 3. You know what I mean? I don't think she hated it. You know what I mean? But
no, I didn't.
Yeah, it was just definitely one of those like, oh, this, and honestly, I have in the past like watched the prior season before watching the new one with Stranger Things, because I just want to get caught up. Nowadays, I really just go with a recap. But I used to do that, and if season 3 was good, I probably would have done that. But I just like, I'm doing a recap this shit. Like, I'm not gonna fucking
go through the Russians.
Yeah, exactly. Although there's Russians here, and it is some silliness involved there, although still serious. Because it's not going to suddenly become a dire show. You know what I mean? You're not going to just completely change the tone on it. Right. But the tone that they brought when it came to the threat, dude, immediately felt like the OG Nightmare on Elm Street, like the first one, you know what I mean? That Wes Craven did, you know what I mean? Which is, it's the Wes Craven's first Nightmare on Elm Street is a really good film, and it's really for its time particularly was pretty fucking scary, and it has those vibes here, because it's almost like, I don't know if you've seen any of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, but have you? I assume you have, or do you at least know about
it? The Nightmare on the Street? No, I never cared for those.
So everyone knows Freddy Krueger. He basically haunts you in your nightmares, and if he kills you there, you die in real life.
I'm familiar with the concept.
The concept, okay, yeah. So, but there's moments here where it's like it's almost they're going into a trance. You know what I mean? But it just feels like they're suddenly being haunted. It reminds me of the theme of was it 5 dream warriors that he suddenly started attacking you during the day, or not during the day while you were awake, but he was putting you to sleep. You know, and it was some weird shit like that. So anyway, the concept alone, and then the danger, dude. that first death, dude, I was just like, "Whoa, what just happened?"
Yeah, let's go full force. Let's go full
Chrissy,
force.
Yeah. We're in spoilers. I already said it. You guys. Chrissy's death in that freaking first episode just like set the tone.
Fucking gruesome. Like, holy shit! What am I watching? Like, no, there's been horror movies that have been like very lauded as being like incredible movies that should watch. And I'm like, no, I don't want to watch it. I don't like horror movies. And this is showing and the fact that it's almost out of nowhere, because you're thinking, I've watched Stranger Things. I kind of know that they like to be subduing the mysterious on the thing. You know, that they don't.
They don't shy away from killing, but never there's a line. There's a and so that
it's
scene,
gruesome. It's gruesome, but like borderlining, like it does. Like I still, as gruesome as it is, I still don't consider gory, because they don't show literal gore. You know,
there's no gore.
No, but.
It's still gruesome.
It is still a fucking like holy shit kind of death that leaves an impression, and you're like, what am I watching here? It's like, whoa.
And then but the awesome thing is that it happens at the very end of that episode. It sets the
episode
tone.
2, right?
No, the first episode. She dies in episode 1.
She dies in episode 1?
Yeah.
Okay. She didn't even last that.
Let me see. What episode? I thought it was episode. What episode did?
It could be. It don't matter for the purposes of the discussion. It don't matter.
It basically,
people that are listening to us, they know.
Yeah, it set the tone, and it also set the stakes. And it's like, shit, this is gonna be real.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yes, but I gotta interject and tell you that I suddenly got very worried. And in the sense that I kind of knew about this already because the trailer spoiled it, or, fully. But I was, and this explained the reason why I thought from season 3 to season 4, Season 4 is just gonna be more kooky and dumb, and I'm fine, because that's where they close it. I wasn't expecting it to be this. I was expecting it to be season 3, but more all out. The fact that they put a face to the evil.
Okay.
Because they hadn't done it. They hadn't done it before. Before, they would talk about the Demogorgon. They would talk about the Upside Down, but you never had the literal villain. Show that the villains on the other season were us, right? We're humanity, our own ambitions and our own, and the fucking Russians are always going to be enemy army, on our American movies, because we always are against. But you see who I'm going to refer to as Skeletor, even though he is Vecna. He's Vecna.
Vecna is his real name,
yeah. Or the kid named him Vecna, and hence that's the name. That
I was going to say, because Vecna is apparently something in Dungeons and Dragons, which is what they've done from the beginning. Like the Demogorgon is an actual Dungeons and Dragons thing. That's not really what that creature is called. They just compared it to it.
I don't know if it's an actual, but it is meant. It's meant to be taken from
that, from Dungeons. Which my understanding is that Vecna is, was it an anagram? I think it's an anagram of the creator of Dungeons and Dragons, which name is Vance. So there's a little
probably
connection.
Who knows? Maybe within the context of it. Yeah. I mean, even the mind flayer was another one that was like, because that's the cool thing about Dungeons and Dragons. It's you can make your own shit.
Yeah.
I kind of regret not being that level of not committing to my dorkiness and nerdyhood that I was never accepted into the dungeons, into the D&D circles either. Like I was not a jock, so I was never accepted there, but I was not nerd enough to. I was the worst.
You were somewhere in the middle.
School, you know, I wasn't even good for D&D. Fuck. Anyway, the moment you put Skeletor on the screen, I was disappointed, or I felt disappointed
at first,
because I felt like, okay, now it loses its mystery completely. There's no mystery because we already know that evil has a literal Skeletor face, so therefore he's gonna be the bad guy. End of story. Who cares? It wasn't, without jumping too much ahead because I'm not ready to go ahead because I want to savor this whole topic. But it wasn't until he explained where he's coming from that I'm like, fucking shit. I'm 100% on board behind this. Yes. I love what you guys did. And I am glad that this got explained because it tied it, in my opinion, extremely well.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the pacing was a little bit weird on the last episode, but the information being provided and how it was provided just let me say I unplug. So I'm not fucking critiquing. I'm not a critic at the moment. I just want to know the information that's being told because I'm that engaged with it at that point. We'll take it. We'll take it apart. We're gonna have it's the part where I take it where I at least there's a section here that I did not like, that I did not care for, and that I was not happy whenever it will show up, and it will and it probably won't surprise you, but it might surprise you actually because, well, tell me
because they have to do it. Well, might as well. Yeah. So this entire season had it had an incredibly high point. What has to be overall my favorite episode of it all, episode 4.
Yes.
The one where it had to do with Max.
Yes.
And how she was in danger of being gruesomely killed. The way that's
what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to say. That the fact that you saw that up front, and then you saw it happen to somebody else who is now, the next kid who was helping her with the investigation, helping Nancy with the investigation,
right?
And you're just like, oh snap! And then when you get to her, you're like. I swear to God, I was just like, please do not do this to Max.
Do not try to Game of Thrones this shit. This is Stranger Things. This is more family oriented. Don't fucking try to Game of Thrones this shit. I am begging 100%. You, Duffer Brothers.
I agree. Don't Game of Thrones it, but I will always stand behind it's something that happens that makes sense. You know what I mean? If it makes sense to the overall story, but don't fucking shoehorn it to become Game of Thrones. with the purpose of having a shocking Game of Thrones.
No, because Game of Thrones did it with purpose. That's the problem. I don't think when I say Game of Thrones, in no way I think at least up to the seasons that were following the books in some way or had the guidance of the books. Like, I did not think that any of the gruesome, horrible, terrible death that will break your heart were purposeless. They all felt meaningful. It's just,
well, sure, but it's also that was what they were selling, right? I mean, the tagline is "All men must die." I mean, that was literally their product they were selling. So that's why it worked for them. But I'm trying to say, if you shoehorn in that type of concept here, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
then
you expect someone to that. But the problem is you have so many characters that it doesn't feel like anybody should end up dying because it'll be kind of weird. Of like, all the different type of and all the diversified cast, you chose to kill this one in particular. It doesn't matter who you choose; it's still gonna feel wrong.
Yeah, I was scared for Max. I was definitely
fucking scared for Max because I liked her story arc. Like she was I remember when she was first introduced, and yeah, she was coming a little bit annoying and whatever. And it's like, oh, you're not part of the kids. But then you start feeling bad because even when she starts trying to well, not that she's trying, but when they start like accepting her in the club, they're still like leaving her out, and I'm like, oh, fuck you guys, come on, she's already,
bastards.
and then with the whole thing of the death of Billy, her brother, and you start feeling like, okay, this is a character that is more important, and you start caring about it, and you don't want anything to happen to her. And my God, when you start seeing that, oh, she's suffering the same thing. Oh my God, are they gonna do this? Like, that would be so fucked up. And why don't they do it with Robin or something? Like, it's like, no, I like Robin.
Robin is okay.
She came in late. I'm just saying because she came in late.
She's the newest to the crew, so it's like,
she's the newest here. So
you're expendable.
Fucking do it with Nancy Wheeler. Like, that's so funny. I want to do it. So it's like,
that's what it. I mean,
she's a slut, bro.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Yeah, don't get me wrong. She's all over the place when it comes to that.
What do you want, Nancy Wheeler? Like, I get it. This is actually the quintessential. Like, yes, this is how. The
love triangle. It's a quintessential love triangle, and,
it is,
I get it. But also, I mean, you got to call out Steve here also, and it's like, dude, what's up with you, bro? Come on.
What's up with Jonathan Byers, bro? Why did they have to cheat-chong him?
I don't know, but I mean, that entire storyline like got like sideline in towards the end of the season, because it's like they made it to Utah to find Dustin's girlfriend, and then that's okay. So we got to go to Nevada. Okay, well that's it. They're gone because they have to drive there. Well, it takes time, right?
They're done. No, but I'm talking about the. No, so he's a pothead now. So he's a heavy pothead. He's like with his heavy pothead, friend, and it's like he's literally. Like, I already hear the song. Pass the Duchy to the left hand side.
Oh my God! Yeah,
left hand side.
Wasn't that? Yeah, that was being played in the thing too. Yeah.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. But like, I don't know about that, but I'm sorry. I never got to my actual point, because that's what I do. I go in tangents and I dance around everything. No. So this is the part. I also have to talk about my favorite part, but this is the part that annoyed me. Every fucking part with 11 except the very last part.
Yeah. That was also, so another sort of callback, because again, they're sort of pulling that was a very Carrie moment in the series. Carrie's a Stephen King film. I'm sure you've maybe seen.
I've heard about it, but
yeah. So Carrie gets teased and all that stuff, and actually at some point they end up doing like a prom or something like that, or like dance, whatever. It's something they pour something on her. It looks like pig's blood, if I'm not mistaken, is what it is. And because whatever, and then she just at that point she ends up fucking killing everybody at this place. And so that's kind of the theme that they were going for. But I agree, I didn't like a lot of what was going on. First off, the fact that she was acting with this dude, with what's his name, Mike. And the shit that she was saying is just like, okay, I don't like any of this right now.
I don't understand why you're lying to him necessarily. Like, what's the part, or maybe I do, or maybe I'm, that didn't make much sense. She is just getting her ass beaten the entirety of this season. She was never a badass, not even once here. Well, again, up to the very last part.
But you're also watching a replay of what she did when she was actually younger, before she left the facility.
Right. True.
We're seeing her as big, but you see that, which by the way was done really well. The little L, whenever they showed the little L, I was like, oh, okay, they nailed it, because that was my concern. I'm like, we're in a history. Why are we seeing her basically full grown? You know what I mean? But it's like, okay, they were playing around with it here and there. So that's what you're seeing her at, and of course also. Clearly, what led to the original crack that went to the to the Upside Down.
The opening of the upside down, what actually brought it. Yes.
Yeah.
Which was that reveal was phenomenal. Yeah. I tell you, at one point they start talking about the different subjects. Obviously they all have numbers. You had that 11 is the L is 11, and you never hear about who number 1 is. Who subject 1. And they start introducing this dude that you're thinking, he's part of the
facility. Yeah,
crew of the facility. He works there. He's trying to, and maybe he feels sorry for for Elle, because she's he's seen the little kid suffer and whatever, and she has potential, yada yada. Like, I could see, like, all this time they present this season. They open the season under the guise that 11 was responsible for the death of every other subject.
Everyone, yep.
And thinking that every other subject, including the kids, every other subject are kids, children, and you see them, like, again, fucking deformed. They're dead. Obviously, they're dead, but the way that they showed it, it's like you could tell it was a gruesome death.
It's funny because I don't know if you did, but I didn't. Like, the first time, so that's literally the first scene in season.
Right, that's 4. The first scene, right?
First, the way it opens, and shout out to them for having that little banner, just to say, look, guys, we filmed this way before what happened in Texas. So what you may see here at the beginning is it's whatever. So shout out for not cutting it first off, and
they have to, they absolutely
and so, but anyway, I didn't put together the way they look until the second time, like towards the end. That's when I started putting together, wait, their bodies are broken. Wait a minute. And also they weren't showing the faces, because remember the eyes will be also. And that was just an amazing, like, sleight of hand.
It was tying it. It was tying it without you realizing that it was supposed to be together.
Yes,
it was putting it together. It was, at some point, said dude shows, like, a cop, like he had a I guess like a suppressor in him that Elle was able to help get out. Obviously, Elle trying to help him, because he's helping her a lot. So, and I honestly, at some point, I was like, "Oh, please don't kill him. I like him. Don't fucking kill him. That's kind of messed up. He's helping Elle, and of course they're gonna kill him because he's trying to help, and that's kind of messed up. And of course, but I had already warm feelings, and then. And then you're right, the pacing was a little off, in the sense that he kind of like Anakin Skywalker. He was way into, like, from good and benevolent to, like, evil, super mega evil, and killing all the younglings.
Which he, technically he had all that already. That was the whole thing. He was really shading all of that. Right. Because he couldn't, when you see his history as when he was a kid, and the tie-in to was like, oh shit, the son, it's that son who fucking started all.
You get one good reveal, and then you get slapped with another good reveal. It's like, holy fuck. Yep. It's like two I see that people at once.
Exactly. In one freaking thing. And it's actually it's back to back, really. It's back to back, because you have the reveal
you're still really from the first reveal, and you're giving the second one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You even have more after that, right? Because you have the oh shit, he's number one. Oh shit, he's also the kid of the father from the 1950s. Yeah. Oh shit, he just killed everybody. So it wasn't Elle. oh shit, Elle thought she killed him, and he actually created a crack. It's like it's back to back to back. It's like, whoa,
oh shit, he's fucking Vecna. He's Skeletor.
And he's fucking Vecna to the end. Yeah,
it's so it was like
it was
writer or writers, like whoever, you deserve praise for that. You did
masterful.
Phenomenal, a phenomenal job there. Like, well, and this is after the again, I don't want to oversell it, but this episode was so good at the end that it was just, dude. Like I felt like I like at the if the episode finished, and I didn't know if it like what I felt on my on my like on my neck, like on my throat, was like I wanted to cry, or like I wanted to laugh, or like I was so pleased with that, with the way that Max, as she's running towards the light, the music, God, what they did with the music was otherworldly phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah, that particular scene. So that I agree. First of all, that's episode 4, and I agree that is my favorite as well, because I was on edge the whole time.
Yes.
And the episode before that is the first time you see that she's seeing the clock. And it's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, you're like, oh, goddamn it. So they're not going to get rid of Max, are they?
Yeah. Well, that's another thing is we also got this, and the way it was revealed with the history of how is because Nancy, she was trying to leap back from the upside down to the real world, and for some reason got swept. And now she is in danger because she herself has something in her
traumatic
past,
a traumatic event,
and which started it all. Man, it's the I'm curious to see what ends up happening.
I realize that's the cliffhanger of it, but I don't care much for Nancy Wheeler, so
I'm okay with her. She's
I was like, Max, no, like. If you're gonna Game of Thrones someone and it needs to be Nancy, it's like, well, you kind of kill what's her name, so I'm not gonna be super sad. I'm sure the rest of the crew will be, but
I guess it would be.
You're also kind of like you're kind of playing this other fool, even though this other fool is just.
So some of the other pacing thing it was kind of happening, and it happened more in the middle of the season. That was, of course, everything that was happening in fucking Russia. You know what I mean? And I was like, wasn't 100% on board with it, although it looked pretty serious. I mean, there was whenever he had to take off the freaking chain from his foot, dude. My foot was hurting for him, bro.
Yeah, I was hurt. Yes,
I was like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So you had some really good moments there. It's funny to see. Speaking of Game of Thrones, it's funny to see the guy who played the man with no face, or the no face guy from Game of Thrones, the one who taught Arya. That was the guard that was trying to help.
Shit!
With short hair.
Okay, that's really cool. All right.
So there's a nice little time with Game of Thrones, but anyway,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say everything that kind of happened there was a little silly. The whole thing with the guy who
I don't think silly is the word. I think it was off-put. Well, not. I didn't like it, but not in the sense that I didn't like it, that I didn't care for. I was invested on it. I was like, I felt a little guilty because I was like, yeah, dude, I know that I called you that you were kind of silly and a clownish in season 3, but they didn't have to do this to you in season 4. Like season 4, like, okay, like stop brutalizing him so much. It's like, enough. They're fucking torturing him. Yeah. You see him like in the conditions where he's in, he's lost the will to live, and it's like I found it to be a very touching moment when he sees Joyce and she runs up and hugs him, and honestly I got a little welled up on that. I was like, okay, all right, so this was kind of worth
worth everything we got through. I don't know what they're gonna do because they don't have a plane to get back to America, and they're kind of in a, at this point it's the 80s, so this is, Soviet Union. So yeah, but yeah, that particular storyline.
They just found themselves. They still haven't escaped.
That's true too. Yeah, and by the way, the Demogorgon that was killing everything is still there.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
I think he stabbed them in the thing, but it didn't kill them. It didn't. No. Rule one: if you don't see the body, it's not dead. No. But yeah, the whole thing, I guess. I don't know. There's just some moments over there. I was like, I don't know about this. And I also agree with the Elle thing, and also when she was in the lab, like a lot of the lab moments, you know what I mean? It's just a lot of like her trying to do that game with the little disc that kind of slides down, and she's trying to. It's like, oh my god, are we still playing this shit? You know?
Yeah, I know. It was kind of. It was very. It was.
That's what I meant by the pacing. It was like, okay, so you have this interesting thing that's happening over here, and now you're cutting over. Oh, real quick, before I forget, because I feel like I'm gonna forget. Dude, that firefight at the household when that one dude with a pistol was holding back army guys coming in. I was like, damn.
I was like, this guy is Rambo. No me joda.
I was like, holy shit.
One handgun, and he's taking an entire army with it.
Dude, I was so impressed. Oh, by the way, I was impressed with the scene as well, because the scene was all shot like one continuous shot. So the camera never cut away. It was just following them through the house as they were running around. And that was very impressive.
You not only did you just realize those things, but you remember them. Like, I have no idea that happened. I'm like, yeah, I believe you. That makes sense.
The reason why so it enhances the scene, because everything is being done all in one shot. That means they had to obviously rehearse this shit several times before they went with it, Right. And because of that, it all feels more tense. You know what I mean? Because it's never cutting away. When you have too many cuts, it's like, okay, obviously they're cutting here for whatever purpose, to hide something, But when you have it all in one shot, it adds to the visceral moment, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah. I noticed those things, and I'm also, it's because I'm also good, but it's also, you probably are noticing it, you're noticing it based on how visceral it feels the moment. But what's happening is, because it's not cutting away, you don't look away. You know what I mean? So you're completely, invested. So I love it when movies and shows do that, and that one worked out well. But yeah, man, shout out to that random fucking government guy. You know what I mean? Just fucking eliminated a lot of.
I mean, you died, but
yeah,
damn, bro.
I didn't want to forget about that scene.
You died a hero. Yeah, you died a hero. You're right. That firefight was fantastic, but yeah, a little silly. Also, I think, like, I feel like at this point in the series, and even earlier in the series, you kind of learn to suspend your disbelief in a lot of ways, where, especially how the kids figure shit out, like Robin suddenly knowing exactly how to speak Russian, or not how to speak Russian fluently, but to decipher at least some things, or
she took Russian,
or the way they put shit. Yeah, the way they put shit together. It's like, damn, you guys are like the world greatest detectives. You guys are bad.
Well, the whole deal is I mean, the Russian thing, I can probably see. I think she mentioned that she had took some Russian. I don't remember. She mentioned something. There's always a one line that explains it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I hear you. There's also, like, how did Dustin figure this out in the thing, and the light bright, right? It's like, how did
the music was the thing that kept Max from dying. It's like,
well, that was when they. Oh, another quick shout out. The guy who was in the prison, or in the medical, I
feel like I know
the psych ward. Yes, he's the actor who played Freddy Krueger. That's Robert Englund. Yeah. So another tie into the theme that they were going for. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
And I noticed, like, it wasn't until the end credits where it showed, and featuring Robert Englund. I'm like, oh shit, it was him. Yeah. And so yeah, that was actually pretty cool as well. That whole story and I love it when they do that. You show, you don't tell. If somebody's telling the story, show what's happening. Don't just have them sit there explaining everything. Then you have to picture it yourself. Like, no. That's what this visual medium is for. Please show me what you mean. But yeah,
I still don't get how the kid or if he had latent powers all along, or something with the Black Widows. Like, I didn't understand that concept of why is he bringing the Black Widow spider? So like, did he get Spidey powers like Spider-Man? Is that
no? I think he just found the connection between him and the spiders were the spiders. Those particular spiders actually control like the ecosystem. Like having them there, eliminates pests and stuff like that. Because it kind of it balances out the environment essentially. And so he saw himself as a Black Widow to say, I too need to balance out humanity because humanity has, over whatever.
Gotcha.
So that's the connection he was probably having.
What a lovely concept. I'm kind of with this is an evil that had them. Well, I guess at the end of the day,
he's still a madman.
Destruction is kind of a little too brutal for my taste, but like I couldn't follow you all the way to humanity probably needs some culling, but
I can't
up to the way of destruction is like, leave the freaky shit out. How about that?
There's no need to go that far.
There's no exactly. That seems unnecessary brutality.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, man, I think we both love this particular season. There's still a second part. The second part is only 2 episodes, believe it or not.
So I was just gonna ask. So okay, so there we go. So we have a second part. It's literally just 2 episodes, just kind of like to close it. Like, what happened?
Well, they're also extremely long.
They are very long.
Yeah, episode 8 is an hour and a half, and episode 9 is 2 hours and a half.
Episode 9. Okay, so so they're both gonna be super. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Never
mind.
So
we have a lot of material coming.
Yeah, we probably had. I mean, what was the average episode? Like 10 episodes, was it? 11?
No, it's always. I think it's always been about 9. It's always been about 9 episodes, and they ranged like 50 minutes, 50, around there before. Now for this season, this first part was everything. Every episode was over an hour, and episode 7, which was the last one that we found out who Vecna was, that one was an hour and a half. Or an hour and 34 minutes. It was
it was something. Yeah.
So the next one is going to be about the same meaty, and then the last one is basically 2 hours and a half. Bro. That's a long movie. Yeah,
I guess that is a long movie.
Yeah,
they have a lot to uncover. I'm kind of grateful, even though yes, it was feeling like these are too long. Like my wife, like we watched 2 episodes, and normally when it gets really really good, we might sneak up a third one maybe. But at this point, when I was watching this ones, I felt like 2 is the maximum I could do. 2 is the maximum my heart can take. First of all, and second is like they're just too fucking long.
Yeah, I was gonna say they were. We like burned it, bro. It was just like, and I wanted to see the next one because I was like, whoa, they have just turned on the juice somewhere in here and figured out the I don't know, the magic. And it really came down to, creating the stakes, making them feel real, and then putting your characters in that danger. And then when it came to really buttoning up what this whole thing's about, the mystery of the Upside Down. Also, you realize it's only a few years old, because when she went to go to her room or her house to get the gun in the Upside Down version of her room, everything was still back the way it was when the day Will Byers disappeared, which was the day that the Demogorgon first came through and took him essentially. And so there's still some mystery there. So, okay, so why is it stuck on that same day? which happens to be this basically around the same day that she created the crack. You know what I mean? And so
maybe that was the creation of that
of
world,
the Upside Down. Yeah, so
that's even down in a world that does not have time as a concept.
Yeah,
because there's no day or night. It's just an eternal kind of like shadow.
Yeah,
the entire time.
And I like the way some of the scenes look in the Upside Down. I also liked that scene when they put the rope through and they're going to kind of climb out of the Upside Down. I was like, that was really well. I was like, okay, all right, really well cool, done, guys, well done.
I think, I expected that it needed to be something like that. That of course gravity was going to take over, and also that they were going to enjoy the effect because it was going to feel weird. It was going to feel like at some point your body feels like it's getting pulled from both extremities at the same time.
I can only imagine when that
floating. That's got to be. They like it. Shout out to oh my God, I don't want to forget his name. But you know what I'm talking about.
The one who they blame for the death. Who they blame for Chrissy's death.
Yes.
Yeah. I forgot his name now too.
What is his character? Eddie Munson.
Eddie Munson. Yeah.
Eddie Munson. I did not expect to like that character as much as I did.
Same here, bro. I was like, this guy's cool. I like this guy.
Yeah, it's like, man, I'm sorry. I'm kind of sorry that you came in late, late to the party, but
I did. I liked his character. I like the believability of his reactions. It is setting up, that he's going to probably do something heroic if you really think about it, because of all the times that he ran.
He's running. And he mentions it.
Yeah, he mentions no, I do what I guess I'm doing all the time now, and that's run. And he mentioned that during the D&D match. It's okay to run, guys. If you need to, run back and say
I didn't even realize that. Yeah.
So I feel like that's probably gonna be his thing. I don't know. Maybe it's save fucking Nancy. You know what I mean? Because she's still stuck in the Upside Down. So
she's the one stuck in the Upside Down. Yeah.
Hopefully, I hope nothing happens to him. But at the same time, that would be a heroic thing. Yeah, like what happened to the other guy, Bob. You know what I mean?
Bob's your uncle?
Yeah, man. Bob, wasn't it? Yeah, Bob. The Bob who he got eaten by the devil dogs in
season. I know, Bob. Oh no, you had to bring that back. That was a good thing of the second.
That's an example of a good death, right? It's just like you don't want it to happen, but when it happens, it makes sense because they were in danger, and honestly, his death allowed them to leave, right? Got the focus of the devil dogs on him for the moment, and so again. When you can do that, and then it makes sense, and hopefully they don't do something just the same for here, but we'll see. we'll see what comes. Any final thoughts, sir? Other than everybody else making shows, learn a lesson here. If shit is getting stale, it's time to go back to the drawing board.
There is a way, guys. As you can see, there is a way. No, I am very pleased with how not just the way that everything is coming together. It's not perfect, right? Mm-hmm. You mentioned it very well, and I fully agree. There's some pacing issues. There are some moments that feel like unnecessary dragging. When you start to get bored with the main fucking character of the show, you start getting worried. I remember that happened when I was watching Halo. I was like, every scene with Master Chief is the boring part. It's like, what the fuck? And it was happening here also. It's like every time they bring 11, it's like, oh, here we go. The action crawls. And my wife did not like it. No, she had the same reaction. She was not on board. She was like literally yelling at the screen, like, why do we have to why do we have to go back to the lab? Like, why? Like, this is, she was
the lab was starting to become annoying.
It's like, why is she doing? We don't need this again. We don't need this again. And I was right there with her. I was like, yeah, I'm not sure if they. Oh, and to bring the point home, they got to like shave her head also again, like to bring the point home that we're definitely bringing it back, guys.
Yep. How do we use in many ways? This is using the magic of the first season, right? It's a lot of that's what made it great
at the very least. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And so
but yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, but in the end, the payoff made a lot of that okay.
Oh yeah,
okay.
It's completely yes. I can still do away with the fucking L playing pachinko. This like I can do away with that shit.
It was just like that's more time again.
Fucking long.
And then she never gets it. It was even more frustrating. It was like so we never get that payoff, right? Yeah. I'm like by sheer luck. They should have landed already on 3. So now I'm beginning to think someone's purposely making it not land on 3. Yeah.
Maybe that was part of her training, just frustrate the fuck out of her so that she'll get, she get the full powers unlocked. And that payoff was phenomenal. I think I fully agree. I mean, it's not over because we still have the two episodes. What is it? July 2nd?
I think so.
It's probably gonna be the 2
July 4th holiday, yeah.
And I'm just gonna watch one day and the other one the next day. I'm not gonna be they're
way too, and I will not do halfway on a like it's one of those like I start if we have to have a big lump of time because I am not starting the last one and then leaving it halfway.
No,
that's not gonna happen.
That shit is going beginning to end. I almost feel sorry in the sense that I feel like we have gotten our payouts. I feel like we have gotten our BioShock moments, our like holy fucking reveals, and our great favorite. What's the Ozymandias? No,
Ozymandias. Yeah,
Ozymandias moment of this series, and episodes are just gonna be long for the sake of we'll need to wrap up this loose ends really quick because we only have 2 episodes. So I almost feel sorry for them.
Well, I mean, I think we're because they're already on the way to Nevada, which is where Elle is. Mm-hmm. She's got her powers essentially back at the very end. So that one check, one box check. Mm-hmm. Now they just need to go back to Hawkins, right? So I mean, you should be able to handle that at least in the first episode. Yeah. And then you have an entire 2.5 hour movie to give us the ultimate
to bring these fools from Russia.
Oh fuck! I forgot about those guys.
Oh fuck! Yes, right. Fuck. Completely forgot about.
They're in fucking Russia. Damn it!
I hope that they don't do the fucking thing that they kind of focus on just one set or a couple set of characters for the longest time, and then you kind of forget that. Oh yeah.
No.
And by the way, I'm still mad that well actually I'll leave that for my closing because I want to close with that.
Okay.
So scoring. So we're gonna be scoring it.
Oh dude, this is a 4.5 for me. It's definitely a 4.5. I think it hit all the right notes and they're only giving half away really because of those pacing issues.
Yep.
And the maybe unnecessary love triangle.
Yeah, the unnecessary love track. Yeah. It was like then when you just start taking, you have this guy taking his shirt off. It's like, oh well, of course,
Here we go.
Of course, we're gonna set that shit up with fucking Steve Harrison because it's Steve Harrison and fuck Jonathan Myers, who his only thing that he did was not come out to see you on one trip. You're already fucking like.
You're already. Although to be fair, he did mention that he was looking to break up with her too. So
did they mention that?
He did because he was talking to his friend and he was just like, he said, "Why didn't you go back?" He's like, "Well, I feel like we're, she's gonna do that, and I gotta stay here anyway." So it really sounded like he was trying to. It sounds like the
So they're trying to. Okay, so they're justifying because I guess
maybe I don't know.
I guess humans would have been to kind of like the dainty princess end up with the weirdo guy, because that would have been too much for Netflix, I guess.
I guess, yeah. I guess
they always need to fed up with the fucking cliches. Like, good job, Netflix. Yeah, you get a 4.5 out of me. Also,
nice
for the exact same fucking reason.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, that there brings us to the end of another awesome episode, The Real 317. If you haven't already, please go to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there. And of course, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. This is Mad Dog signing off this week saying, and now your suffering ends. Thank God it didn't happen to Max. Anyway, Mr. Santos David, take us home.
I feel, well, first of all, I need to make a quick mention here, because it is I cannot believe that we went the entire topic and we did not mention the real star of this show, of this season. We didn't mention the name of the real person.
Supposedly. Please don't tell me it's Angela, because I'm going to disconnect. Who is it?
Erica Sinclair.
Erica Sinclair.
Oh my God! I'm gonna disconnect you.
Oh, Erica Sinclair. Okay, yeah. I got you. Yeah.
The sister.
The sister of
the sister. Yeah.
Dude, honestly, I found her rather annoying in season 3.
Oh,
I thought she was good here. Like, she had a turn. I was like, she's holding her own. She's playing D&D and doing it well. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, all right, I'm on board.
My wife is convinced that there is an adult playing that character. There is an adult female playing the role of this child. And
they just make her look small.
It is well, the way she talks, the mannerisms, the way she expresses herself, so very sassy. Yeah.
Which again, I found annoying in season 3. But in this season, I don't know. It's work. Again, they figured something out.
I'm telling you.
And it just freaking works.
I'm telling you, the fucking season. Okay, all right. So now the real closure. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So I don't want to oversell it. It's not a great thing, but it begs the question: are the Duffer Brothers really? Are they really going to close this show completely and not explain what the fuck was the deal with number 8?
Oh yeah, they probably will. Yeah, that's definitely a loose end. We will never know. We'll never know. She's in Chicago. She's probably in jail. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Or Netflix is setting a spin-off.
Oh. Well, they already mentioned that. They mentioned the producer did mention possible spin-offs and stuff like that, but we'll see.
Well, if there is, I mean, there is. Mark my words. It's all I'm saying. Mark my words.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens with that, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you guys next week. GG.